And a good morning once again to Koiki Media Live. Thursday, the 23rd day of March 2023, as we are almost few more days before the end of the month of March. Yoruba Nation is still an ongoing project. Yoruba Nation campaign continue as usual. But as we start the day, we start with the Star Radio UK. 3 million Yoruba people voted, and we still have to convince them that we are much better to have our own independent country. Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí a kú ọjọ́ ẹ̀ní, mo kí gbogbo wa níbikíbi tí ẹ bá ti ń darapọ̀ mọ́ wa níbi tí a tún fẹ́ wọnú agbami ètò lọ. Mo ní welcome once again as we kickstart the day with the program as usual. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tí ń darapọ̀ mọ́ náà lórí Instagram. A very good morning. Èmi àbúrò yín, èmi ọmọ yín. The platform that is fully dedicated to Yoruba Nation, but in ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ mọ̀ pé media platform ni, so sometimes tàbá post nǹkan míì tó ń ṣe Yoruba Nation, they are always quick to ask, kí ló dé tètè place tẹ́lẹ̀? Nígbà tó yẹ pé nígbà tí mo fẹ́ fi passport mi sílẹ̀ láti fi ṣe Yoruba Nation, mo sọ fún wọn pé à ní ṣe media mọ́. This is a media organization, and you have to always factor that as much as we are doing Yoruba Nation, we still have to talk about a lot of other news outside Yoruba Nation. So, but we have dedicated, almost 90% of our resources talking about Yoruba Nation and educating as many Yorubas tí kò dá nǹkan kan mọ̀. So, tẹ́ bá ti ń wá sórí platform wa fún ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń follow wa nílé tí ẹ dá kankan mọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé rúùtù nìyí, wọ́n ti gba íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì kúrò lọ́wọ́ yín, wọ́n jẹ́ kẹ́ rí íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì fi mọ̀ tó ń lọ láyé. Ìwọ̀nba kéékèèké tí ẹ tún gbọ́ ní orí ọ̀dọ̀ tiwa tó yẹ kẹ́ máa fi ṣe bí ẹ expect pé tí bá post picture Tinubu kí n lọ wá ètò dá nínú picture nígbà tó níyàn wá sí hospital, ṣé ẹ ti mọ̀ pé kò lálàáfíà? Picture tí kò lálàáfíà náà ni máa gbé síta fún ẹ̀yin tí ẹ bá ń complain. Ó dẹ̀ lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ fún ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń complain nípa àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò. Mo sọ fún yín, kò ń ṣorí platform yìí náà. Ìjà tèmi ń jà, ìjà bá ṣe máa kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. Èmi ò dẹ̀ tí rí pé ìjà táwa nìkan lè dájà ni, àfi tá bá ń parọ́ fúnra wa. Tí a bá jọ dáwọ́ bò, òun ló máa jẹ́ kó yá. Bọ̀ mo ti rí pé púpọ̀ náà àwọn tí àjọ gbé Yorùbá Nation dání, politician ló pọ̀ jù nínú yín. Ẹ fẹ́ràn politics ju kí ló dálẹ̀ lọ. And that is one of our major obstacles. So, but gbogbo ẹ̀ náà, a máa educate ara wa. Èyí tèmi náà bá get right, èyí náà correct me. But nígbà tí wọ́n ti ní àti ní alliance yẹn lè má perfect, but alliance is alliance. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ jókòó tó ní cash alliance, wọ́n mọ̀ tọ́rì. So ìwọ lè jókòó nínú comfort zone ẹ kó máa bi wọ́n ní ìbéèrè àgọ̀ pé kí ló dé tí wọ́n ń ṣe alliance. Ìbá yóò dẹ̀ ń ṣe ibi tí ẹ ti máa wá polongo àti gba Yorùbá Nation country. Àwọn platform kan wà tó ti ń sọ gbogbo yẹn. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ bá wa ṣe Facebook ẹ̀rí, ó tóbi dáadáa. Àyè gba gbogbo wa. Àyè gba tápà ni òun lọ̀rọ̀ Facebook. So èyí tó bá fẹ́ gbọ́ nínú ẹ̀ òun ló máa gbọ́. Tó bá fẹ́ gbọ́ pé wọ́n ti gba country, wàá lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn ibi tó ti ń pariwo àwọn ti gba country. Àwọn ò tí gba country o, èmi ò tí rí evidence pé a ti gba country. Tá bá gba country, ó ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ nǹkan téèyàn máa ṣe. Ó ní ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìgbésẹ̀ tí ó yẹ kó ti máa wáyé láti fi mú ẹ̀rí jáde pé lótìtọ́ lódodo a ti gba country wa. So àwọn tí wọ́n dẹ̀ náà fi ṣe ń tẹ́rì bíi bàbá mi Ọmọborí Owóṣesọ́lá lánàá nígbà tí mò ń wá àwọn world media tí mo wo replay wọn. Tẹ́ bá gba country náà kúkú lè dé gbogbo wa kúrò kàn tanra yín ni. Gbogbo alájọ máa ṣe eléyìí táwa náà gbé dání gbogbo alájọ máa ṣe tá a bá ti gbà. So lè lé anybody kúrò nínú Yorùbá country lè lé anybody kúrò nínú Yorùbá land tó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá. Mo fi tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ mo fi kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti ń darapọ̀. Yes, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Nàìjíríà ọ̀sán ti fẹ́ lọ pọ́n. Àwọn ọmọ wa níwọ̀ òróró gbà ní bank. Mo ṣe rí fídíò tí ọmọ wa ṣe ní Ìwó road. Àkókò ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ pé Nàìjíríà ò ṣiṣẹ́. Ẹ̀yẹ ti ní ká shut up, a náà shut up nítorí pé ẹ̀yin ò dá kankan mọ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ń lé. Púpọ̀ nù yín àwọn politician wọ́n ti gbé Nàìjíríà fúnra rẹ̀ wọ́n ti gbé lọ sí oríta mẹ́ta. Torí oríṣiríṣi oògùn ni wọ́n ń ṣe ní Nàìjíríà kí iye yín má bàa ṣí. Torí politician mọ̀ pé ìjọ tí iye yín bá ti ṣí kí alẹ̀ yìí náà máa béèrè fún kan tí Kóìkì ń béèrè fún àti bàbá Akíntóyè àti gbogbo àwọn tí a jọ ń ṣe Yorùbá nation. Mo kí bàbá wa chief mamu ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, mo dẹ̀ lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin àfà. Assalamu alaikum, àkú òǹgbẹ èèyàn mélòó ló ń gbàwẹ̀? Ṣáwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ máa lè máa gbàwẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ọkùnkùn ti ń gbàwẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ náà bí ẹ̀rọ oúnjẹ jẹ. Báwo ni a ṣe máa nílẹ̀ rẹpẹtẹ táàrọ̀ oúnjẹ jẹ? Ẹkúkú ti mọ̀ pé ẹ̀rọ oúnjẹ jẹ tẹ́lẹ̀. A country ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, tẹ́ bá follow mi ní ọwọ́ ìdájí láàárọ̀ yìí ó láwọn kankan tí mò ń post history wa díẹ̀díẹ̀ kankan tẹ́mi náà ń rí kà èmi náà fi ń ṣọwọ́ sí lórí social media. Ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ mọ̀ bí ta ti ń bọ̀ ó fi parẹ̀ fún Nàìjíríà ó dẹ̀ máa parẹ̀ fún olóṣèlú ó mà ṣe o. Education wọ́n ti yọ history tó jẹ́ kó guide wa, history tó jẹ́ kó jẹ́ way out of problem tá wà nú ẹ̀ wọ́n ti gbà kúrò lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. So at the end of the day bẹ́ẹ̀mi bá sọ pé Yorùbá nation èèyàn kan sọ pé no ẹja lọ fún ẹgbẹ́ PDP. Àtíkù nísìn tó bá ṣe pẹ́rẹ́ nísìn á bọ́ sínú private jet. Ìbẹ́ ti rí Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù tó ń káàkiri nísìn ẹ̀ṣọ́ níwòlímọ̀. Òun ti ṣe tó máa ṣe fátíkù Àtíkù ò dẹ̀ wọlé àṣà náà ti ṣiṣẹ́ owó tòun. Ṣé ẹ̀gbọ́n wa Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù kì í ṣọmọ Yorùbá tó yẹ kó promote Yorùbá nation? Rather PDP ló ń promote. Tàbádẹ̀ wí lọ wíbọ̀ á ní Yorùbá lòun study nílé Ifẹ̀. Ṣèbẹ́ tó study Yorùbá ló yẹ kó mọ̀ nípa history Yorùbá jù tó dẹ̀ kó jà fún àwa tí a ní a fẹ́ Yorùbá country kó bá wa lo gbogbo in tó ní knowledge ní ìmọ̀ but àwọn tí ìrí táwa ń rí nítorí in táwọn fẹ́ jẹ làwọn sì wà after. Wọ́n pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o ẹ mọ̀ pé mo kàn lo Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù torí pé he campaign for PDP. Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù náà ní òun ti jàjà tòun náà struggle. So ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá náà ẹ má push òun ẹ̀yin náà lọ struggle. Well push wọn àmọ́ àwa kàn sọ pé ìjẹ́ tí a bá gbé lọ gbé yẹ̀wò ṣé kò jẹ́ kí irú àwọn tó jẹ́ Yorùbá irú Gbajabiamila mo rójò náà níwájú ní tí mo fẹ́ kà nísìnyí ṣé kò jẹ́ kí Gbajabiamila náà kó support Yorùbá nation? Kò support Yorùbá nation because àwọn ò rí Yorùbá nation as an opportunity. Mo dẹ̀ ń sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ fi para yín lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Tinubu tí bá ti ń post picture Tinubu ẹ̀yin kan náà ẹ máa ń ṣe Yorùbá nation ẹ máa ń fẹ́ ní sentiment fún Tinubu kò ní ẹ má yẹ kí n ṣe pé àti wà nínú Ramadan ọ̀sẹ̀ anyway. Tinubu ní ṣé Tinubu ẹ̀yin ò mọ̀ pé negotiation tó fẹ́ ṣe ni pé ó tún kó wa lọ sí oko parun? Mélòó ni Tinubu lè ṣe nípa pé strength ẹ̀ tọ́lọ̀ fún lálàáfíà o mi ò gbàdúrà ikú fún bọ̀bíyàn náà bá wo Tinubu ìyàn rí pé àlàáfíà kù díẹ̀ fún but at the end of the day àwa tí a jẹ́ ọ̀dọ́ ní wákàtí bàbá Ayọ̀ Adébánjọ kò sí nǹkan tó fi ṣe mọ́ bàbá ti dàgbà bàbá is 90 years old so bí bàbá bá kàn sọ pé this and that àwọn bàbá ẹ̀ náà wọ́n ti ṣe tó lè ṣe níwọ̀nba tó lè ṣe àwa tá wà ní generation ti sìn ṣẹlẹ́yìn generation ẹ̀ problem tá wà ní pẹ̀lú yìí ni pé ẹ̀yin sì fẹ́ lo strength yìí fẹ́ fi bá Nàìjíríà jà ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ lè bá Nàìjíríà jà because Nàìjíríà is a monster tó lè bá tèèyàn jẹ́ òun ní Nàìjíríà ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yóò fẹ́ gbọ́ ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀ fẹ́ gbà bá ṣe ń tì síbí ẹ wá gbọ́ Yorùbá nation ẹ jẹ́ àjọ ṣe Yorùbá campaign yìí ẹ sọ pé no ẹ ń fi strength yín ẹ má bínú pé mo wo camera because mo prepare Star Radio gunmen assassinate former Ogun State ìwọ́ṣẹ́ ìgbé yẹn jáde news tó ti jáde news last week gan kò tí kan court outthrow Abba Kyari application to quash charges ṣọ́fẹ̀fílẹ̀ ni Abba Kyari ògbólógbò ọlọ́pàá tó ń jalè Justice Emeka Kyari on Wednesday dismissed the Federal High Court in Abuja the application of the suspended Deputy Commissioner of Police Abba Kyari who is seeking to strike out charges against him. Okay, what dismissed? The application was dismissed on the executive right. Criminal ni Abba Kyari yẹn. Ẹgbẹ́ ọkàn tí human rights ti America sọ lánàá. Èmi gbogbo ẹ̀ mú kà fún yín. Ẹ tó bá wo program Naija Voices lánàá. Ẹ jẹ́ lọ farabalẹ̀ gbọ́. Wọ́n dárúkọ Yorùbá nation rárá nínú gbogbo tọ́ka yẹn. Wọ́n ti àwọn hoodlum ti vandalize the building kan ní Zamfara. Ẹ̀yin pẹ̀típẹ̀tí criminal ni wọ́n máa lé mú. Àwọn tó jẹ́ gbòógì criminal. Àwọn EFCC ò ní mú wọn. Àwọn ọmọ tó ń ṣe yahoo. Àwọn ọmọ tó ń pọwọ́dà tí wọ́n ti bà yé yín jẹ́. But àwa ni ẹ fẹ́ fi wàhálà yín sí lọ́rùn. Especially àwa diaspora ẹ fi pé àwa la gbọ́dọ̀ gbé gbogbo responsibility yín èmi kọ́ ni mo pa problem Nàìjíríà o èmi ṣe wọn bá tèmi lè ṣe bí Elédùmarè ṣe rán mi èmi náà lè decide pé kò kàn mí kò sí nǹkan máa ṣe bí Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù ló ń jẹ owó nísìn ṣé Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù bí ṣe pariwo ẹ̀ lójoojúmọ́ nísìn ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn ń gbọ́nà á ní tó bá yẹ wàá dákẹ́ orúkọ mi wọ́n pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn journalist ṣèbí òtítọ́ jù ṣèbí yẹn TVC ló ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú Kúbẹ̀mbẹ̀m àti gbogbo àwọn tọ́jọ́ wà lórí journalist hangout wọ́n ń ṣayé wọn lọ́nà they don't care so mo kí yàwá Ìyábọ̀ òbí ẹ̀sán ẹ káàbọ̀ mọ́ mi so mo kí mọ́mí wa Bísí Mákànjọ́lá ẹ̀yìn yàwá mo kí mà Ìdòwú Michael my brother I love you so much so èmi kọ́ ni ẹ máa wá kó problem yín bá pé torí mi pariwo Yorùbá nation àwọn tó jẹ́ gbòógì Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá ọ̀dá sí kò sí tó kan ẹ mọye táwọn Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá ń jẹ ní inú owó Nàìjíríà inú owó Nàìjíríà ni Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá ti ní owó tìbínú Nàìjíríà ló ti rí owó tó ní elémèlò àbí báwọn ọmọ ṣe á promote tó ní ẹjá tí mo tó ní UBA ó ṣàṣe 60 lánàá inú Nàìjíríà ni gbogbo wọn ti jẹ owó náà àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ so àwọn ò fẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà kó pín bí Nàìjíríà ṣe ń lọ wẹ́rẹ́wẹ́ yẹn làwọn láì ó tẹ́ àwọn lọ́rùn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣé Nàìjíríà tó à ń rí yẹn tó tẹ́ ìwọ lọ́rùn ṣé wọ́n lè fi ọwọ́ gbáyà pé Nàìjíríà yìí ó is a country tabadẹ wí tabá sọ ẹ̀yin yúùtù tó jẹ́ kí àjọ fọwọ́ ṣe ẹni ẹ fẹ́ dìbò Labour Party ẹni ẹ fẹ́ lé Tinubu àtàtìkù ẹ fẹ́ gbé Labour wá ṣé tí wàá rówó gbà báyìí Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ rówó gbà o èlò ló ń ta báàgì gàrí èlò ló ń ta báàgì ráìsì báwo nìyàn ṣe lè wà nílùú èèyàn káyà yàn máa já ìyá arúgbó ìyá 75 Fúlàní wọlé ó kìí àyàn mọ́lẹ̀ wọ́n là nǹkan ọmọ lórí wọ́n pọn ọmọ wọn lọ́wọ́ at her age ibo ló ti fẹ́ rí ọmọ bí but ẹni kì í shut up ẹni kò sí tó kàn mí ẹnu tẹ́yìn lọ́rùn bẹ́ẹ̀ no problem ibi ìbàyẹ̀ lèmi wà ẹ má dẹ̀ sọ fún mi pé kí n wálé torí kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ wá mú nílé èmi kan ti sá kúrò ní 1998 sọ èyí dẹ́ máa ní ẹ̀kọ́ ìkíkà come back home let's fight it together orí ẹ̀ ò pè mò ń bọ̀ èmi ni kò dúró dè tó gbọ́ mò ń bọ̀ mo ti dé tán Koiki come back home let's fight this Yorùbá nation together Ṣòwòrẹ́ tó wà Nàìjíríà tó ń pariwo revolution èèyàn máa kẹ̀ mélòó lẹ support mélòó ni ẹ support Ṣòwòrẹ́ wà ń lé tìbí Ṣòwòrẹ́ wà ń lé pẹ̀lú yín ǹjẹ́ vote Ṣòwòrẹ́ tìbí Ṣòwòrẹ́ jáde fún president even though pé àwọn ò support anybody including Ṣòwòrẹ́ bó ṣe jẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n wa tó lè jẹ́ bàbá wa bàbá fáwọn kan pọ̀ náà bàbá Fẹ́mi at least ẹ̀gbọ́n ló máa jẹ́ fún wa orí àbí ìṣẹ́gbẹ́ so a gbọ́dọ̀ fi ọ̀wọ̀ fún ṣèbí Sowore wà Nàìjíríà kí lẹ rí ṣe fún Sowore rí nǹkan kan ṣe fún un. So ojú ló pẹ́ sí tó bá yá gbogbo apáta la máa understand pé àwa kan tá à ń pariwo lójoojúmọ́ kò ń ṣe pá kan ń pariwo mú bọ̀. Bí ẹ mọ̀ pé èmi náà mo ní life tẹ́lẹ̀ ká tó di pé a sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ òmìnira làwa fẹ́ gbé dání òun ṣòmìnira ti jágbajàgba tí wọ́n wá dàrú proper òmìnira torí àìtí gba nation wa àwọn bá dẹ̀ sọ pé àwọn ti gba country kọ́ máa promote yẹn lọ́nà kí gbogbo àṣẹbí ojú gbogbo ló máa já ẹni tó náà ti gba country ó ṣàgbọ́dọ̀ máa sọ update fún yín ibi tó bá ṣẹ́ dé ẹ má bínú ẹ̀jẹ̀ wà lórí sọ́jà ìjà àjọsí kámẹ́rà mi dáadáa wọ́n ṣàgbọ́dọ̀ máa fún yín ní update ibi tó bá ṣẹ́ dé lórí ọ̀rọ̀ kan ti gba country àwa táì ti gba country àwa náà fún yín ní update so ọ̀nà méjì ní tẹ́ ń gbọ́ ibì kan wà ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ pé wọ́n náà ti gba country àwọn ti gba Yorùbá nation fún yín àwa dẹ̀ náà ti gba Yorùbá nation so àwa táì ti gba Yorùbá nation a lè fún yín ju more than a ṣe ṣe campaign lọ ni so àwọn tó náà ti gba Yorùbá nation náà gbọ́dọ̀ máa ìyẹn lọ́sẹ̀ sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ ṣe rà pé mo gbọ́ pé wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe ń tẹ́rì nítorí bá wọn ni kọ́ ṣe kò sí ìtọ́kùn wà wọ́n ṣáà lè gba Yorùbá nation nísìn kọ́ wá sọ pé tí Kóìkì bá ti dé o nítorí pé ọmọ Àkẹ́ni kò sọ̀pọ́ọ̀tì wa ẹ má jẹ́ kó wọ Yorùbá land pọ̀ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ báwa náà bá gba Yorùbá nation before then pé wọ́n lè declare Yorùbá nation yẹn try to tell dànù illiterate ló máa sọ yẹn pé ẹ̀rọ tó bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn bàbá Akíntóyè tó bẹ́ẹ̀ Ìgbòho tó bẹ́ẹ̀ nígbà tásìkò bá tó wọ́n bá fi pé àsìkò tó tọ́ fẹ́ declare Yorùbá nation ayé ti tell dànù ẹ̀wọ̀n pé illiterate ló pọ̀ jù nínú àwọn tá à ń bá fa tá à ń bá di ta ló sọ fún yín bẹ́ẹ̀ pé wọ́n lè declare yóò anytime lọ́ lè declare another lọ́ lè declare independent of Yorùbá nation ṣẹ́pọ̀ ti declare kan ó lọ́ ti declare sí èmi lọ Ọlọ́run rán èṣù làwa tó kù àbí devil Ọlọ́run ta complain fún pé wọ́n fi kó wa lómi ọbẹ̀ jẹ ó ní bẹ́lẹ́dùmarè ṣe ní ká máa darí ẹ̀mí ayé wa adẹ̀gbàgbọ́ pé ókè ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀sìn wa àgbàmọ́ yín lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀sìn yẹn náà ní sìn òun náà ní a tó fi kóra wa lómi ọbẹ̀ jẹ ọ́fíìsì ọpọ́ ti gba country fún yín olùkọ́ni tó ń dùnú lọ́tún ló sì ẹjọ́ yọ ilé ká tó máa mute ara mi nísìn ní láti switch over fún studio. So once again a very good morning and welcome to the program. So ẹ jẹ́ ká yọ ilé kúrò. So let's prepare for the day. Orúkọ mi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí everybody mọ̀ sí Koiki Media. So I'm switching those of you as well on the mixer lab. Let's switch over. So àwọn tó gba country wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ máa update yìí èmi ibà ẹ̀dẹ́kọ̀ ni lọ́ọ́ ti máa update àwọn òde update yìí níbí báyìí so ẹ má wá síbẹ̀ kẹ́ ẹ sẹ́gbà Kóìkì ó jẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀ nípa nation tó náà ti gbà yẹn no ẹ máa lọ sí platform tó ti náà ti gba country yẹn ibẹ̀ lẹ́ ti máa gbọ́ gbogbo tó ní láti gbọ́ eléyìí tẹ́ wà níbí báyìí tó ń pè ní Koiki Media eléyìí sì ń sọ pé àìtí gba nation wa so ibi tó náà ti gba nation yẹn ibẹ̀ lẹ́ máa lọ tẹ́ ti máa lọ máa gbọ́ Pretty kini máa fún mi problem lára rọ̀. Láti fi switch over báyìí. I'm always having ní láti kọ sílẹ̀ so that àti mo lè tẹ́ ẹ̀ kí n máa lò. So ibi tó ti gba country yẹn lẹ máa lọ because àwọn ò tí gba country a ṣì wà in the process. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ náà ti gba country fún yín tí àwọn kan dẹ̀ believe any right láti believe kódà kò sí nǹkan tí yàn lè believe níbi táyé dé nísìn can believe anything. Ẹ bá dẹ̀ ní ẹ believe táwa náà sọ it's okay. Ẹ lọ believe àwọn politician ṣé Yorùbá nation mọ́ irọ́ ni gbogbo yín gbà ẹ lọ máa bá àwọn olóṣèlú olórí. Àbí mo dìyín mú pé ẹ má lọ sọpọ́tì olóṣèlú tó ti parọ́ fún yín for donkeys of years. Ló ṣe kí mi láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ sí. Mo gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ fún mi sílẹ̀ problem ti fẹ́ máa pọ̀ lára rọ̀. Wọ́n lè pè tí bá ti fẹ́ switch over. So owó ni mo ń lò. Speaker exploit. Mo gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́ sílẹ̀. Speaker exploit. So mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí speaker. So ma switch everything over nísinsìnyí. So ma take pẹ̀lú later. Alright, ẹ jẹ́ ká yọ audio jáde ní ti Star Radio. Kí ló tún ṣe létí kò tún lọ? Ẹgbẹ́ yọ speaker mi kúrò.
Radio UK, some lovely tune. One of yesterday's. Back in the day. And it's all coming your way from Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. On. Just keep your dial so log on Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. But share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. We're broadcasting live on all the social media platforms and on our own app, the Star Radio UK app. Your app store, look for Star Radio Global, whether it's Android or name it, whatever it is. iOS, call it. Just download it for free and you can enjoy all the programs that will bring your way. Okay, I think we've got Miss Olayomi Koiki on now. The kingdom of God will never come to an end. Well, and he is our shepherd as well. So a combination of that tune there for you this morning. And it's Star Radio UK. Bringing the time now to 7 minutes past the top of the hour. And it's my singular honor to welcome the White Lion once again onto the show. Well, he's from one platform to another platform. You know, he's been busy, but it's good. That's what we want to do, and we do it religiously. And let me say, Yomi, good morning to you.
Well, a very good morning to you back in the studio, Mr. Archie. Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Bossman, and good morning, Archie, and good morning to our listeners, and a very good afternoon to those that are watching us in Nigeria, because we are 1 hour ahead, and that literally means that it's 8 minutes past 12 p.m. midnoon in Nigeria as we speak right now. And welcome to Star Radio UK.
Yes, welcome wherever you are listening to us. How are you doing, sir?
Well, doing great. As the week is running very fast, we are grateful that we are still here. We continue, what we love to do best, which is, the news, from Nigeria and from other African countries as we have them.
Okay, listeners, Mr. Olayomi Koiki for you, and we are going to be looking at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe this morning. So wherever you are, don't even think of touching the dial. But before we do so, as we know the norm, just a sneak view of what was discussed yesterday on the Niger Voices, the reactions and everything that went on, for the sake of those who didn't actually know that program was on or missed out on it. We are advising that you go back to the Star Radio broadcast, whether it's Facebook or all the social media platform or the Koiki Media platform as well, and then you can pick all the broadcasts from there. So let's go back to Yomi for a sneak view of what was discussed on the Niger Voices yesterday. Over to you, Yomi.
As we always say, Niger Voices is a program that brings, all the latest news from Nigeria. Not just the news, we also, talk about a lot of issues affecting the diaspora that are Nigerians outside and the indigenous people as well. The focus point yesterday was very, very important because, election has now been done. Billions of naira have been spent, campaign, the rhetorics, and so much and so forth. But, what is the outcome of this election is the question in the heart of, so many Nigerians. The outcome, can never favor everybody, especially in a system that, a lot of people are expecting that it would have been done properly. I think the focus point that I can highlight is the U.S. Report on Nigeria on the human right. It took me about an hour plus to go through, in details, what the American government believe, is a human rights issue for Nigeria, in 2022. Nnamdi Kanu case, was mentioned. The Yorubas were not mentioned, but there were some issues that the police could not handle properly in some of the Yoruba states regarding, human rights abuses. If you have missed that, the link will also be put up there on the Star Radio UK website, which is, going to come up probably maybe later on, so that we can go and read this report, and that's www.starradiouk.com. That report gave us everything that we've talked about, from the prison services, in as much as even a criminal still have a right. But if a criminal, is not even getting the right, don't expect, the person outside to get the right. We talked about bribery, they talked about the judiciary. There's so much significant human rights issues. There was another area that a lot of people that were listening were kind of a little bit, worried. 12 states in Nigeria practice Sharia. And even though none of these states have sentenced anyone to death, but there is a death sentence that could be done on you from there. There's cane that could be used to beat you as well. So as we know that Nigeria is a secular state, the question then is, how did we get to where, some states in the northern part of Nigeria believe that, they want to use, Sharia. Customary law is also allowed in almost all the 36 states of the country as well. In terms of the issue of respect for integrity of a person, I'm just giving some of the highlight there. Disappearance, people get disappeared. According to the report, there were reports of disappearance by or on behalf of the government authorities. According to a non-governmental organization, Amnesty International, in August, the whereabouts of at least 50 suspected indigenous people of Biafra were arrested in 2020 in Rivers State. Up to date, nobody knows their whereabouts. We talked about a young man that was picked up on Saturday. The Nigerian police have now confirmed that yes, this individual, is in their custody, known as Chud, and the reason for that is because he was using, I'm trying to get exactly how that was put out yesterday. Once again, a very good afternoon, good morning, and welcome to Star Radio UK. So, according to the Nigerian police, Chud is currently with them, because of some of what he was saying during the election period, even though MC Oluomo said more than what Chud was actually saying as well. So, these and more is part of what we looked up yesterday, but on Star Radio UK, is still a continuity on Naija Voices. During that period of time as well, there was a breaking news that we had two statements read. One was coming from the NLC, which we're going to be looking at today. The Nigerian Labour Congress, next week, Wednesday, have now asked a total shutdown of a nationwide protest. So we expect maybe that is going to go ahead or not. But as of this morning, according to our team on the ground in Ibadan, there are still Nigerians struggling to get cash. And that is part of what we discussed on Naija Voices yesterday.
Wow. Listeners, Star Radio UK, a mouthful there. But if you missed out on anything, as Yomi was saying, please just go to the broadcast. Look for Star Radio UK and you will get everything that we discussed on that front. Aziz, let me say good morning to you. It's Brother Koike, and good morning to you, Mr. Archie, and the rest of the team in London. Aziz, good morning to you and the team in the US as well. All right, then. Now, let's crack on. But before we go on to the substantive issues that we're going to be looking at today, the Sharia law. Now, you said how many states are practicing Sharia law in Nigeria?
12 states.
12 states. Now, so is it people who belong to the Islamic faith who are under the Sharia law, or everybody who lives under, whether, because we know that Nigeria is a secular state, the traditionalists, the Christians, the other bits, if they are all living there, are they under the Sharia law, or is only those in the Islamic faith who are under the Sharia law?
Well, not literally everyone that lives in that state where the Sharia is being practiced. According to what we have, the Constitution specifically recognized Sharia court for non-criminal proceeding. State laws do not compel participation by non-Muslims or Muslims in a Sharia court. Sharia court in the 12th state and the FCT may prescribe punishments such as caning, amputation, and death by stoning, although courts have always overturned the death sentence on appeal. The only recorded state-sanctioned amputation occurred between 1999 and 2000.
Interesting. Well, so if the Sharia, the court, summons you, can somebody say, who says that, well, I'm not a Muslim, or I'm not an Islamic person, so I'm not going? Would that, because the Constitution gives you that right not to go?
Well, yes, again, defendant generally did not challenge caning sentence in the court as a violation of the statutory law. Sharia court usually carried out caning immediately. In some cases, convicted individuals paid fines or went to prison in lieu of caning. Defendant have the right to challenge the constitutionality of the Sharia criminal sentence through a common law appellate court. These courts sometimes ruled in favor of the defendant, who sued individual state for assault for penalties such as the caning. In June, in Bauchi State, Sharia court was sentenced a man to 30 lashes for stealing an electric fan from the mosque. So you can, if you're not a Muslim, you can opt out, for a proper, court rather than the Sharia court.
Okay, listen, there's some education there for you, for those of you who want to know what's happening in Nigeria. But then let's come to some of the substantive issues that is going on. After Saturday, we were looking at yesterday, we were saying that Labour Party has not been able to win any of the states. But it looks like in Abia State, Labour Party has won. Yomi.
Well, yesterday, jubilation, went through Abia State when the election, the INEC, return officer, eventually, gave the Abia State to Labour Party. Enugu State believe that they've been rigged, and that is why Enugu State is not going to Labour Party. PDP have been declared in that state. But Alex Otti, Abia State governorship election have dislodged the PDP. It seems that there's still more problem for the PDP. Abia State is the state in the southeast geopolitical zone of Nigeria. It is a border to the north and the northeast of the state of Enugu and Ebonyi State. It was also founded on August 27, 1991, with about 6,320 kilometers in terms of the area. Dominantly, more of the Igbo area as well. Yesterday, Alex Otti won under the Labour Party. That will be a good plus to the, to those Labour Party. Even though we know that, they were expecting more, but we're going to be talking about what the presidential, the vice president of the Labour Party said that Tinubu should not be sworn in on the 29th of May. I'm going to give you that clip in just about a few minutes, but let's complete with Alex. The Labour Party candidate, Alex Otti, has now been declared the winner of Abia State governorship election following the eventuality declaration on Wednesday of the result of the controversial Obingwa local government area result. With the conclusion of the collation of the outstanding result of the election, the People's Democratic Party scored 9,622 votes, while the Labour Party scored 3,776 votes in that local government. Consequently, the Labour has won 10 local government, in the PDP 6 local government, and the Young People's Party in 1 local government. And that makes Alex winning at about 175,466. Defeated his closest rival and the candidate of the PDP to just under 88,000.
Wow, listeners. Well, congratulations to him, Alex Otti, for winning that seat. But have there been any as they've been saying, everybody says now, if you don't agree with the results or they say go to court. Have there been any of the states that maybe the ruling government or some of the other parties are taking the whole elections to court, apart from the presidential one that we know, of course?
Well, we have to wait until a couple of more days, but definitely some of the states will be challenging their result as well. So we're expecting to see more of that also. And the reason for that is we do know that election is a very, very do or die in Africa, especially in Nigeria. And let me take you to what Dati Baba Ahmed, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, urges President Muhammadu Buhari, Chief of Justice of Nigeria, not to participate in the swearing in of the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is what he said right inside one of the mainstream media yesterday in Nigeria, while he was actually discussing the issue surrounding Bola Tinubu. Once again, this is Star Radio UK. It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's currently trending based on some of those utterances he said yesterday.
That is why I'm so confident. And that is why however extreme it is, Seun, I am saying it on national TV. I don't like to take risks. I'm not taking any risks. Swearing in a ticket that has not met the constitutional requirements of the Constitution, okay, is ending democracy. Quote me on it. That's your interpretation. That is my interpretation. And that is indeed a correct interpretation. You cannot swear people who have not met the constitutional requirement. You can't do that. If you did it, you have done something unlawful, something unconstitutional. And I'm repeating it. Whoever does not meet the constitutional requirement must never be sworn in. You said my name. If you like, I can say it again. I'm Dati Baba Ahmed. I'm not taking risks with my safety and with my life. But I'm repeating. Swear in anybody who does not meet the constitutional requirements of our country. You are engaging in an unconstitutional act. Mr. President, do not hold that inauguration. CJ and your lordship, do not partake in unconstitutionality. I am taking these risks for the sake of my country. Yes, It is extreme, and I'm saying it. It was more extreme for Yakubu to issue that certificate. It was reckless. He is putting all our lives in danger. All of us. We're already at risk. So what is there again in me taking risks again? What have they not done against Nigeria? What have they not abused in Nigeria? Now they'll take the constitution where it is clear, it says and get 24. After that, and FCT. They fail to get it. They are going to swear this man in, and I should be afraid? I will not be. I'm telling you that on the Nigeria,
you had him right there. This is generating a lot of conversation. I don't know what is going to happen, Mr. Archie, within the next few months, but we will have to wait and see as day goes by.
Wow. Those are profound statements that has been made. But by the running mate of the Peter Obi. Yeah, Peter Obi making that assessment. But do you think that Buhari cares or gives a hoot about whatever he's saying? Because after all, he has said that, look, you have any issue, go to the courts.
Well, Buhari believes that he hasn't done anything wrong. Maybe we should listen to this. This is what Afenifere said as well, just before the election as well.
It's likely. You are fighting for your freedom. It's not a regular election you're having. If Obi doesn't win, forget Nigeria.
Okay, these are very, very, statement that could bring a bit of uncertainty into the country within the next few months if care is not taken. Buhari could go ahead and try to do what he wants to do. What are the others going to do is what we don't know. We can speculate, but you've just had, the Dapti Baba Ahmed saying right there, you had the leader of the social cultural group, Afenifere, says if Peter Obi does not win, they believe Peter Obi won the election, even though INEC disagree with the search. They will have to prove that at the court. Whether the court will be able to be done in time before May 29, and then finally, we talked about Shehu Shagari in 1979. Election was conducted. They was not happy. They went to court. Eventually, the court pronounced Shehu Shagari as the winner. Are we going to say the same thing? Or are we going to see something different where the judges will be able to overturn this election, and then what next? So Nigeria is still sitting on the keg of a time bomb, but we will just have to wait and see how this is going to play out. I've not read any statement yet from the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's team, but they are still dealing with the issue that Tinubu has traveled to London, Paris for medical treatment. But they've come out to say, no, he has actually gone to rest, and from there he will be going to Mecca, Saudi Arabia, for a lesser Hajj. But intelligent report is saying that if you believe that, you might as well believe that all the prostitutes in Allen Avenue are still virgin.
Wow, that is very scathing. So that means that there is no element of truth in whatever they are saying. My goodness. Well, listeners, it is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, 11:26 the time. Now let's move on straight to what is happening when it comes to the Naira scarcity. Now we had the Nigeria Labour Council, the NLC, that has called for a protest. I don't know how long they've called for that protest, because we see people going to work, they've gone to work, and then they cannot actually get their pay. Whether they want to cash, they have some cash, they can't get it. You cannot do, electronic transaction is not one that is, working perfectly in the country. So people are working, they cannot make ends meet. Those who are trading, I don't know what challenges they are going through. But what has the CBN said so far about that?
Well, it's a good news coming from the CBN, even though it is not yet happening on the ground. There's a video that was done this morning by one of our team on the ground, right in front of a couple of banks, and people were queuing trying to get access to the, new note and the old note, because it's now a legal tender up to the end of the year. But what we can confirm that the Central Bank of Nigeria has finally concluded plans to release all the 1,000 naira 500 naira and the 200 naira note in its custody to deposit money banks. A very good news, and we hope that is going to be available in time, and that probably might stop, NLC protest next week, Wednesday. So there's still, a couple of days before next week, Wednesday. The decision is expected to end months of hardship and pains Nigerians have been going through, following a controversial CBN Naira redesign policy that has caused a severe shortage of the old and the new Naira note across the country. You will expect that, they should have the new note, but they don't have it. But now that the old one that have been removed from the circulation will be returning back, and that is a great news ahead for Nigerians.
It seems to be a great news, temporary solution to it. But my question is, where are the new Naira notes? Was it printed, or did somebody do them 419? So they took the money, they paid for it, they've not gotten it. Where is it? Yomi.
Well, you never trust, what is, happening behind the scene. Remember that Emefiele wanted to contest himself. We saw some of his vehicle that he wanted to contest for the as a presidential candidate, but we don't know which of the political party, but he pulled out. Like I said, if you have done a redesign of the new Naira note, that means we should have surplus of that. Even we shouldn't be talking about the old Naira note as we speak right now. But to be honest with you, there is not the new one outside, but they've promised to release the old one back to the circulation. So it seems definitely, like my grandmother will always say, 419 by 2.
This is a 419 by 2. That is very, very strong one. Adam Olamilikan says, good morning, Mr. Archie and Mr. Koyekiri. Tinubu has run away again. Well, maybe he's copying Buhari. When Buhari came to the UK for how many months, he was here. They said he was resting. Apparently, he was receiving treatment. Maybe the old man can't stand the pressure that he went through during the campaign, and therefore he needs a bit of rest. What about that? Well. It is All Star Radio UK. Now let's move on straight to some of the other stories making the rounds in Nigeria today. Once we have Mr. Olayomi Koiki on. Yomi, over to you.
Thank you so much. And first and foremost, it says happy Ramadan to all our listeners, across the globe this morning. It is the month of the holy month. And as we all know, it is the month of giving as well. So, as the Ramadan starts, in almost every part of Nigeria after the sighting of the moon, more Nigerians are probably been doing fasting just before now. But the only difference now is, they can now cope, that at least they don't have to worry after the early hours meal. What is Ramadan? Ramadan is just, part of the Islamic, let me give us, 10 quick facts of those who don't know much about Ramadan. And then it is not compulsory, it is not mandatory, but it is something that, it kind of how you feel for those that are probably going through what you are feeling as well. So during the Ramadan, Muslim worldwide fast every day from sunrise to sunset. Young children and women who are pregnant, breastfeeding, or on their period, the elderly and the people with health problems aren't expected to fast. For many, Ramadan is a time to feel closer to God, pray, spend time with loved ones, support charities, remember those less fortunate while they are fasting. Let's remember as many of our loved ones, whether they are from our side or not, whether you're outside the country as well. By the end of the Ramadan, adults who are more food than they need to pay what they call the zakat, a contribution to support people in need. It could be any amount, depending on the locality and the country. Ramadan begins during the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, when the new crescent month can first be seen. The 5th one, Muslims consider fasting in Ramadan a core part of their religious belief. Before dawn, people eat a meal called the suh, the dusk meal, which is called iftar. Ramadan is often a community affair, with more people attending the mosque in the evening and coming together with friends and family for iftar. The 7th one, during the Ramadan, many offices and schools in the Muslim majority countries shut early. Not in Nigeria, but I'm sure, they try to manage, situation, especially those that are Muslims within the, the government, government workers, and likewise private sector. The number 8, during the last 10 days of the Ramadan, Muslims celebrate the Laylatul Qadr, the holiest month of the year. It commemorates the night that Quran, the Muslim holy book, was revealed to Prophet Muhammad. Number 9, you can express well wishes for Ramadan by saying, Ramadan Kareem, have a generous Ramadan. or Ramadan Mubarak, which translates to Happy Ramadan. And the last one is, after the last day of the Ramadan, Eid al-Fitr, the greeting changed to Eid Mubarak. So at least you've learned something about how Ramadan works for those that are non-Muslims as well. So now let's come back at 11:33 to some of the other news. I'm not sure whether you've already picked the news about David Cameron brother that died on the program this morning, but I'm just saying that here on one of the news.
We've not picked it up yet.
I didn't get that.
We've not picked it up yet. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the news is that barrister Alexander Cameron, brother to former United Kingdom Prime Minister David Cameron, died. Alexander died at the age of 59 after battling cancer since 2020. May so rest in peace. Before his death on Wednesday.
Yeah, go on. And then after that, let me bring you another breaking news that pertains to Nigeria.
Before his death today, cancer had forced him to step down from the bar. Alex Chamber, 3 Raymond Building, confirmed his death in a statement today, according to the paper here in the UK. I'll come back to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Yes, information coming through pertaining to the organ trafficking incident. Well, information says that organ trafficking plot, Nigerian politician and wife guilty. That's information coming through. A senior wealthy Nigerian politician, his wife, a medical middleman, have been found guilty of an organ trafficking plot which saw them bring a 21-year-old man to the UK. Senator Ike Ekweremadu, 60, his wife Beatrice, 56, and Dr. Obina Obita, 50, were convicted of conspiring to exploit the man from Lagos for his kidney. Prosecutors told the Old Bailey the organ was to be removed and given to the couple's daughter, Sonia, age 25. She was cleared of the same charge. The victim, a street trader from Lagos, was brought to the UK last year to provide a kidney in an £80,000 private transplant at the Royal Free Hospital in London. So that's breaking news that is coming through. Ike Ekweremadu, his wife, and the Dr. Obina have all been found guilty. Yomi.
Well, we've been following that case, back to back, and you're quite right. A lot of Nigerians, would have to be, looking up to this particular case, because this is the case that has been, mixed match, especially for those that are concerned that, they shouldn't even have come to UK if Ike Ekweremadu, and the wife have done, what they need to do, especially him as a deputy Senate president, but it is what it is. They were fighting for, for their daughter Sonia, but it seems that the UK justice system, has done exactly what they do best. Whether they now agree with it, they might have to appeal it. And for those that probably do not know, those are the two individuals that you're talking about this morning. So, yes, I've just picked the news as well, and I'm sure that news is going to filter through quickly, especially to, their loved ones and so many of their friends around in the politics in Nigeria. And I'm sure the next person will be running away from bringing such situation to UK next time, because we know that, most of them have so many of sorts. So a very, very breaking news there. Once again, as Archie has said, Ike Ekweremadu wife have been found guilty of organ trafficking, and I've just picked that up as well. It's already filtering through the Nigerian news media. I've just picked that as well, and I'm sure other news network will be doing so as well. So let's return back to one or two of our other stories. Happiest country in the world, Finland offers free trips to Nigerians and other nationalities as well. I'm not too sure what that is all about. Lost that now. Let's bring that back. Once again, this is still Star Radio UK. The winners will be flown in and pair with knowledgeable trainees to help them develop a balanced lifestyle that foster happiness in Finnish. It looks like happiest country in the world, Finland offers free trips to Nigerians and other nationalities. Wow. President-elect Bola Tinubu strictly flown abroad, but he has already said, no, we have just gone to rest, and I will be in Lesser Hajj in Saudi Arabia from Paris, where he's resting before making his way. Adamawa election, APC suspend SGF boss Mustafa. Lagos candidate filed 25 election petition against Gbajabiamila and others. Exactly what you were just talking about is free drinks and flow fireworks is happening in Abia State. Labour is challenging the winners of Oshodi, Isolo, Koshofe, Lagos Mainland, Surulere, Shomolu, Mushi, and Ikorodu. Aggrieved Labour Party and its candidate have filed 25 petitions before the Lagos National and State Assembly Election Petition Tribunal. The petition were pasted on the wall of Roslyn Omotosho Courthouse, Ikeja, venue of the tribunal sitting. In one of the petitions, the candidate of the Labour Party for the House of Representatives in other 7 constituencies in Lagos are challenging the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and the All Progressive Congress and the declared winner of each of these constituencies. Once again, if you've just joined us, there's a breaking news coming. Ike Kirimadu and the wife and 2 others have been found guilty of, organ harvest allegation. We talked about Ahmed Baba. Let's take one or more from there, and then we go straight. There's a lot bouncing on the social media. Buhari government spent 21 billion naira to upgrade presidential villa clinic that was never used. Maybe Bola Tinubu would have to make use of it. We will have to wait after May 29. I'm going to jump straight to the social media because there's a lot happening on the social media this morning. Once again, Star Radio UK, this is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. As we always say, I'm just trying to pick up some of those. 25% FCT is trending. Oshogbo is trending. Ikpeazu is trending. 68 State House Assembly. I'm not too sure what that is all about. Maybe that is the total number from the Labour Party, but let's have a look. One governor, which is quite right, Nafirati is a strong supporter of the Labour Party, and she has it there. One governor, 8 senators, 34 House of Reps, 68 of Assembly members. No one campaigned other than him. He joined Labour Party in less than 9 months, shook Nigeria to his foundation, and is still deepened by your judiciary and democracy. Will you die if you congratulate this? Well, that is why that is trending. 68 State House of Assembly. So it seems that the Labour Party has literally pulled more than they expected. Boss Mustafa is the SGF for the government. APC have now suspended the secretary to the Nigerian government, Boss Mustafa, indefinitely. I'm not sure why, but he's a very, very important figure in the government. Like I said, is the SGF and the secretary to Nigerian government. According to what we have, official of the party in Gagorada ward in state, who made the announcement at a press conference in Yola, Mustafa did not commit to seeing the ruling party win the presidential election. He was also blamed for not winning his polling unit for the party. He stated that indefinite suspension followed complaint from his ward, adding that no individual could be above the party that gave them the platform. And the last one is, as Nigerians continue to wait for the outcome of what might be a very long ride, especially between the 3 gladiators, Bola Tinubu, Atiku, and Peter Obi, in terms of these tribunal cases that will be starting anytime soon. Katrina Lang is leaving finally, and Dr. Richard Montgomery will be joining as the new High Commissioner to Nigeria. Star Radio UK will be giving you all the edits as we have it. But for now, these 3 gladiators are still pulling whatever they can to make sure one survive, while the 2 will have to wait another 4 years. And that was part of what we discussed on Niger Voices yesterday. What next for Nigerians? Do you have to now go back after 4 years? But some are saying 4 years might be too long. There's still a way to fight it. And I'll come back now to you in the studio.
Well, listeners, updates from Nigeria with that breaking news that came your way. Ike Ekeremadu and the wife and the doctor who were seen to harness that organ have been found guilty. But let's touch on that one, and then we'll touch on the presidential bit quickly, and then we can bring the program, the first part of the program, to close. Now, Ike Ekeremadu, how influential is he? Is he that rich? How big is he when it comes to Nigeria?
He's a big man. He was a one-time, deputy Senate president, which is the almost number 4 when it comes down to the whole country. So after the president, the vice president, we have the Senate president, and then we have the deputy Senate president. So Ike Ekweremadu is, is a very, very influential politician, a lawyer as well from Enugu State, who has also served in the Senate of Nigeria since June 2003. He's a member of the People's Democratic Party, was the deputy president of the Nigerian Senate for 3 consecutive times.
Wow. Do you think that the government, the Nigerian government is going to step in quickly to appeal, or maybe get some?
The federal government have tried to not intervene because they believe that this is a personal, even though, some of these political friends came to UK, I was there, we met some of them, they couldn't want to grant us interview because the question was, why did he not push for effort to have a standard hospital built, in his home state or in Abuja to support one rather than coming to UK? But Ike Ekweremadu, has now been found, guilty, and that is now going to trickle down quickly to every part of Nigeria, like I said. So he's a very, very influential person. But today, the UK justice system is doing exactly what he might not like. But like I said, they might have to appeal it. We don't know yet. But that is the situation as we speak right now.
Well, listeners, we're following very, very closely. We will see what the reaction of the federal government is going to be in the next few hours or days. That is unfolding there. Okay, Star Radio UK. Now, when it comes to the political gladiators that we were talking about once again, now, do you think that the plot, before the elections, when we were looking at the Muslim tickets, or Tinubu and a governor from the north, people were saying that, well, Tinubu is not that fit. I think there was somebody who said, a lady did make that statement that Tinubu wasn't feeling that well, but they just deliberately pushed him there, and once after the election, and then he would just and then someone will take over. So because it bothers me that Tinubu couldn't even congratulate Sanwo-Olu because he's one of the strong hands, or the PDP, the APC candidates who has won his governorship election. But we didn't hear any congratulatory message from there. Is it that he's very, very ill, and what the person said in the past, that is just a tendency that they'll just use that for him to win the election, and the next moment Shettima is going to be the one who's going to take over? Is that what is happening?
Well, I will expect Tinubu to have at least make a video to congratulate Sanwo-Olu, or he could have even done so before he left the country. Yeah. So as he left the country in emergency, for him not to be able to, because these are individuals that are, he was in Lagos on Saturday. I saw him voting, but he didn't speak to the press. Was that part of the just get him there to the polling unit, vote, and then take him out? But after the result, he was already out of the country, and maybe the situation arising is not allowing him to speak to the press right now. We'll have to wait and see. But definitely, this is how Buhari started, and we knew what happened. Even Buhari was there for infection in his ears, and he gave the reason that he has been using London for his medical treatment, since his military days. And I'm sure Tinubu will say the same thing, that he has been using Paris and UK for most of his rest place, and he will still use that maybe when he becomes the president.
Now, when you saw him, when you saw pictures of him on Saturday voting, how was he? How was he like? Did you see him as somebody who was strong?
A lot of Yorubas don't like, when we talk about him, because they believe that, there's just something special around him. Tinubu is frail, we pray for a good health for him, but, we can tell that he's very, very frail, but he's being pushed for what is, his ambition. He has actually pushed for his ambition, because this has been his, his best dream ambition, and that's why he was able to use that terminology, Emilokon. If you don't give it to me, whether now it's going to be accepted by Atiku and Peter Obi, the court will decide.
Wow. We wish him a speedy recovery if he's not feeling that well. But if he's chilling out, then chill out well, and come and let's see. Because I'm a bit optimistic. I try to look at the brighter side of every situation, because I'm looking at it that maybe he hailing from the south. Maybe we'll look at, let's bring the carrot and maybe get Sunday Igboho, Chief Dr. Sunday Igboho, and maybe get Nnamdi Kanu. Get them. Let's talk. Let's try to calm things down. As we were saying yesterday, let's give them a referendum. Let's see what is going to happen. Let them campaign. Let government also campaign for the unity, and let's see what happens there. Maybe that is what he can do. But we wish him all the best for his ill health. We pray that he gets well quick. If he is ill, then he can come to Nigeria. But we hope to hear from him soon as the president-elect. All right, Yomi, before we go.
Well, we couldn't have done it more than today. Again, I'll be back tomorrow, but make sure you stay tuned for Archie for the rest of the segment of the program. I'll be out again tomorrow at exactly 11 o'clock. It's the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And as we continue to monitor some of the other news on the breaking news this morning throughout the morning program.
Okay, have a lovely day. We'll catch up later.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye. Well. Listeners, updates from Nigeria. You heard that, and the breaking news that came through here in London as well, pertaining to the guilty verdict.
Bear with us. Let's note this. Let's get our mic back, and then we'll just take a short interlude break, and then I'll come back in just about a few minutes. Once again, a very good morning. Let's take you through this. Is Tinubu very sick, or is he just gone to rest and from there Agbabelosi, Saudi Arabia? Let's listen to these, and then I'll come back and we can discuss further. Once again, Star Radio UK, the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London.
This is in-depth analysis.
There is no other section of the country that has contributed as much as Northern Nigeria. Now, we can bring any area and debate it, and you find that the North paid more than paid its due. In political terms, this is what now the turbulence in the country politics. The North must not show its face as to who in the next election. The parties were warned that they must not choose Northerners as presidential candidates, because it is not the turn of the North to rule again after Buhari. Of course, you can look at it in various ways, legal or political. Certainly not legal. Our law books are very clear, the constitution is very clear that I can stand the election 2020.
Pastor Mo, good morning. And good afternoon to those of you on the other side of the globe. We'll just pick it up from here. Rather than end the broadcast, we'll do a bit, and then we'll probably come back again if we have the time. But Yoruba Nation is not yet over until it's over. We will continue to ask for our right, and our right to be respected. Yes, solution for this country is to break, let everyone go their separate ways. But our politicians have Ekalo now. Your politicians are holding things back. And until the politicians knows that we are serious, not that they don't know that we are serious, but they don't see it as anything right now. So we have to push, and we have to continue to push. Emma Bino Fesari post the breaking news from my own timeline here. So, as we say all the time, Muki into an yewa. That is how things are done here. I hope justice has been served. He can appeal it. I don't know what is going to be the sentence excuse me, of Ike Ekweremadu, but as the breaking news is coming, Ike Ekweremadu has been found guilty. So we're going to talk about that in just about a few minutes as well. So that's the breaking news coming out from London here. As we can say that Ike Ekweremadu, the Nigerian politician, the wife and the doctor are guilty of organ trafficking to UK. UK is Nigeria. Yeah, you don't joke with the system here. In as much as Ike Ekweremadu should have done the best while he was the deputy Senate president and all that. But as usual, these individuals, you know, they don't care about others. They are more about our family when they come. I won't care about our. So this time around, he would have to face the consequence himself. So that is the breaking news coming out of Nigeria. Nigeria from UK this morning. Ike Ekweremadu is 60 years old. The daughter is 25. Not easy, especially when you're trying to protect your loved ones. I'm just trying to complete my post. Let's click this one. It's not easy. America, the Human Rights Report. What do we say about that? We talked about it yesterday. The state report, state.gov. America ní kò sí nǹkan kan tó wrong. Mẹ́wàá wrong pẹ̀lú Nigeria. Mẹ́wàá ó wrong pẹ̀lú Nigeria. But all these countries, in town we explain, America does not help you to break a country. Iṣẹ́ America kọ́ nìyẹn. Ẹ̀yin aráàlú lẹ máa sọ pé nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ lélẹ̀. Ẹ máa convince America. America does not come and break a sovereign nation. It doesn't work like that in reality. It doesn't work like that in reality. I still have one more post, then I'll focus back into the screen. Alright, now let's come back to my screen now. Mo kí gbogbo lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí àwa tá wà nínú tá ń gba àwẹ̀ Mùsùlùmí àtàwa tá máa jẹ ọ̀sán. Àwọn kan máa jẹ ọ̀sán láàrin wa. Dennis, good afternoon to you. Mo fẹ́ lọ gbé ọ̀rọ̀ tí dáptì àbíkíní ẹ̀ ń jẹ́ tó sọ jáde. Mo fẹ́ ká gbé yẹ̀wò láàárọ̀ yìí. A lot is going to happen, but I don't know. And if you want to fire, she knows so that it's valid. A very good afternoon and welcome to okay, to our Instagram. Now tell election the Tonnison. Ojo going to Jabai. Everybody's waiting for progress to happen. Election to turn by anything. Everybody. Everybody now don't understand. Say, Nigeria no be that country. Ẹ ká gbọ́n tí máa yìí sọ lánàá lórí channels. Okay, gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé ká sùn. Let's prepare that. It takes a while before you get things. Yeah, I got it. And now let me bring my own camera in. Orí politics today ló ti sọ̀rọ̀ lánàá. Wọ́n ní Tinubu lọ fún ó lọ rest from there. Ó dẹ̀ máa gbàgbà lọ sí Saudi Arabia fún lesser hajj. So now let's come here. Ẹ̀ka gbọ́n tí Dapti Abiki ló ń jẹ́ ẹ̀ka gbọ́n.
Nigeria, I believe in this document. That is why I'm so lawful. That is why I'm so confident. And that is why however extreme it is, Seun, I am saying it on national TV. I don't like to take risks. I'm not taking any risks. Swearing in a ticket that has not met the constitutional requirements of the Constitution, okay, is ending democracy. Quote me on it. That's
kí ló mean by ending democracy? I want ẹ̀yin ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ ràn mí lọ́wọ́ because mo gbọ́ Òyìnbó tó sọ dáadáa. Kí ló ṣì ń ta wọ́n lára? Àti pé why is he saying ending democracy? Ẹ mọ̀ káwọn bàbá Ayọ̀ Adébánjọ náà sọ similar thing pé ìjọ tí Peter Obi ò bá ti wọlé, mo fẹ́ lọ mú fídíò tí wọ́n yẹn náà jáde. Kí ni Dino pẹ̀lú àwọn mọ́tò ẹ̀ tó máa ń ṣò káàkiri? Dino bàbá àgbàlagbà, owó ti pọ̀ jù. Nítorí ọ̀pẹ́rẹ́sì nílé náà nìyẹn. Kí ni bọ̀bọ́ mean by Kingsley ni mean everywhere go scatter? Mo fi lọ gbá àwọn tí ká ló lè help me láàárọ̀ yìí ọlọ́sàn ìwẹ̀ ọ̀sán ti fẹ́ pọ́n lọ́dọ̀ wa náà just about a minute before. What mo fi lọ gbé táwọn bàbá Ayọ̀ Adébánjọ yẹn jáde again because mo mọ ibi tó wà nínú. Kí ni ó mean by ending democracy? Can somebody help me with that? What does it mean by ending democracy? Kí ló mean? Ṣé wọn ò ní participate mọ́ nínú Nàìjíríà ní àbí báwo? Who has the understanding? Our people are too daft at times to understand what should be their priority. Just read it. I want to yam pepper scatter meal. Thank you so much. Just read it. Omobolaji. Oni Alhaji Olayomi Ramadan Kareem. Èmi náà kí ẹ má jọ̀sán o. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin Mùsùlùmí ẹ má lọ dọ́gbọ́n síbi táàpù kẹwàá lọ mú mi o. Má lọ gbàgbé o. Ẹ̀wọ̀n kan tá a máa ń ṣe ní kékeré nìyẹn. Wà á súnmọ́ ìgbẹ́ táàpù báyìí. Wà á mú mi yóò bẹ́m. Àwa padà sókè. Alájà máa bèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ pé ṣáwẹ̀ ń lọ. Màmá àwẹ̀ ń lọ bàjẹ́. Ìwọ tó ti mú mi yóò bẹ́m. Tó bá dẹ̀ dá lẹ́bà yìí tó ń dí gbogbo nǹkan. Mo fẹ́ gbé fídíò yẹn jáde ni o. Ìyá mi bí Sima Kanjo Alani, it means they have another agenda. Ǹjẹ́ àní máa bẹ̀rù àwọn Labour Party báyìí? Kí la agenda tó fi ṣe? Ìlú wo ló ń báàkì wọn? Àwọn generals wo ló ń báàkì wọn? Ṣé swearing in máa wáyé tí gbogbo ò ní dàrú báyìí? Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fáwọn táwọn ṣe Yorùbá nation pé ẹ má ẹ̀ka get involved pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn people yìí. They are not to be trusted, every one of them. Doesn't matter whether it's Labour Party, whether it's they are not to be trusted. We don't have to trust any one of them. Adewale, ending democracy is the military interim. Interim there, military interim to take over. Ìyẹn serious díẹ̀ o. Ìtẹ́ ìsọ yẹn serious o. Èmi náà kí yẹn kó ń gbẹ o. Ẹ má jẹun wọn ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní United Arab Emirates. Ẹ jẹ́ káwọ́ ẹ máa lọ o. Èmi gan ní sílẹ̀ pé kò sómi nínú bíbà. Bọ́mọ ìdọ́gbọ́n lọ mú lẹ́yìn. Ẹ rí pé OMT àti wà náà sún àwẹ̀ o. Má dẹ̀ sún mọ́bìnrin o. Ẹ jẹ́ àgbọ̀n tó ń sọ lọ.
That's your interpretation. That is my interpretation, and that is indeed a correct interpretation.
Kí ló mean by that is a correct interpretation? Kí ló mean by that? Only that is a correct interpretation. Is that based on the Constitution? Is that based on what? Nigeria is just a country. Oh, yeah, the weather is. But while I was in Paris, yeah, me look at kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀. Èyí tí ọ̀dọ̀ tí yẹn tẹ̀ ń gbàgbọ́ rárá, any small protest báyìí gbogbo àdúgbò ti dàrú. Àwọn ará France yẹn, wàhálà any small protest báyìí wàhálà rẹpẹtẹ ni. They're not a joke. There's a lot. Nigeria is a crazy country alone. It's just that àwọn tó wà nílé poverty kò jẹ́ kó rí nǹkan rárá. Sparkly is a good morning. Eda continue.
You cannot swear people who have not met the constitutional requirement. You can't do that. If you did it, you have done something unlawful, something unconstitutional.
Okay, only if you did it, you have done something unlawful and unconstitutional. Is it right? Or is it just blabbing? As they do all the time. Politicians, they can never be trusted.
And I'm repeating it. Whoever the...
Ó tún fẹ́ repeat ẹ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ẹ̀mí bàbá ilé gan-an. Kí ló ń gbójúlé gangan náà? Kí ni wọ́n ń gbójúlé? Kí ni wọ́n ń gbójúlé?
Does not meet the constitutional requirement must never be sworn in. You said my name. If you like, I can say it again. I'm Dati Baba Ahmed. I'm not taking risks.
Ó tún dárúkọ rẹ̀. Ó ní Dati Baba Ahmed. Why is it so confident? Is there something that we don't know? Mo kí bàbá Fọlọ́runṣọ́. Ìyẹn mo ṣe ń sọ fún gbogbo àwa tí a fẹ́ máa dá sọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú pé kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú wa. I can't get involved. These are all criminals. They are all criminals, and we must not get involved with them at all. Kì í ṣe olóṣèlú. Struggle for Yoruba nation làwa gbé dání. And we must not allow anything tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú Yoruba nation kọ́kọ́ sí wa láàrin. Okay, Ọlá Àjàlá sọ pé Ọbásanjọ́ is there to back them. Ṣé pé Ọbásanjọ́ náà ṣì ń push fún ẹni Ọbásanjọ́ ló endorse wọn anyway, so I'm not surprised. Let's continue.
With my safety and with my life.
Good morning, good afternoon, truth and question. Always something we don't know. Definitely, there's always something we don't know. Just as bí wọ́n ti sọ pé ẹni tó bọ̀ kan nínú Twitter kìíní orí tó bá believe pé Tinubu wà ní inú ibi tí ó ti ń rest ó ní you must as well believe pé gbogbo àwọn aṣẹ́wó tó wà ní Harlem gbogbo wọn ní virgin.
But I'm repeating.
Ó tún fẹ́ repeat again. Kí ló ń fún ní agbára tó tó yìí? Kí ni nǹkan tí wọ́n ń rí táwọn ò tí rí? Yorùbá nation àwa gbọ́dọ̀ dúró fánfán. Kí lẹ fi fún American road ọkàn wọn nísìn? Mr. Koiki, please don't forget Ọlọ́run fẹ́ ti ara ẹ̀ wọn kó fẹ́ fara ẹ̀ tí wọn gbogbo àdúrà wa ni no going back bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. Ìyá mi bí sí ni with the situation of things now military will take over the country because their mandate cannot be taken from Tinubu and given to Obi. Good morning, my truth and question. Dati Baba Ahmed. Ṣáwúsá lòun ṣàbí Fúlàní. Ṣáwúsá ni Dati àbí Fúlàní. Kò sáà tẹ̀ dá wọn mọ̀ rárá mọ́ nísìnyí. Wọ́n ti wọnú ara wọn. Just as dáhùn yẹn ṣe wọnú Yorùbá náà tá a dá gbogbo ara wa mọ̀.
Swear in anybody who does not meet the constitutional requirements of our country, you are engaging in an unconstitutional act. Mr. President, do not...
Mo fẹ́ kí lánàá yá wa bíbá ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn tí mo tún sọ lọ, mo rí ìgbà tẹ́ kí mi lánàá, ẹ káàbọ̀. Kẹ́hìndé Òsénì Sàlámì.
Hold that inauguration. CJ...
Ó ní kó má hold inauguration. Mr. Dande ní òmìnira Yorùbá ẹni military ayin tí wàá dá kí military tó wá gba ìjọba military taking over is not a very good one. It's going to take everything back. There is still hope for the Yoruba people based on Bubuntun Shele. There is still a lot of hope because Bubuntun Sobo is about once again, mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Koiki Media. He's the only one in the Fulani elder meeting.
And your lordship, do not partake in unconstitutionality. I am taking these risks for the sake of my country. Yes, it is extreme and I'm saying it.
Shawusa ni boboy àbí Fulani. Shawusa ni àbí Fulani. Mo ń béèrè fún àwa tí a dámọ̀. Má bínú, my hands are always full, as you know. Okay, tí mo wà nílé. Mo fẹ́ wọnú Instagram mi ni ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé àwọn security code oríṣiríṣi tá máa ń ṣe. Because mo fẹ́ fi nǹkan kan wá. So now let's. Ní ọjà pẹ́ o. Nàìjíríà wà nísìnyí. Àwọn tó fẹ́ wọnú system mi ló pọ̀ jù.
It was more extreme for Yakubu to issue that certificate. It was reckless. He is putting all our lives in danger. All of us. We're already at risk. So what is there again in me taking risks again? What have they not done against Nigeria? What have they not abused in Nigeria? Now they will take the constitution where it is clear it says and get 24. After that, and FCT. They failed to get it. They are going to swear this man in, and I should be afraid. I will not be. I'm telling you that on the
video call. The other side. Video call. Don't take video call. So we've had him very well, and I'm not going to play it now without any interruption.
Nigeria, I believe in this document. That is why I'm so lawful. That is why I'm so confident. And that is why however extreme it is, Shehu, I am saying it on national TV. I don't like to take risks. I'm not taking any risks. Swearing in a ticket that has not met the constitutional requirements of the Constitution, okay, is ending democracy. Quote me on it. That's your interpretation. That is my interpretation. And that is indeed a correct interpretation. You cannot swear people who have not met the constitutional requirements. You can't do that. If you did it, you have done something unlawful, something unconstitutional. And I'm repeating it. Whoever does not meet the constitutional requirement must never be sworn in. You said my name. If you like, I can say it again. I'm Dr. Baba Ahmed. I'm not taking risks with my safety and with my life. But I'm repeating. Swear in anybody who does not meet the constitutional requirements of our country. You are engaging in an unconstitutional act. Mr. President, do not hold that inauguration. CJ and your lordship, do not partake in unconstitutionality. I am taking these risks for the sake of my country. Yes, it is extreme and I'm saying it. It was more extreme for Yakubu to issue that certificate. It was reckless. He is putting all our lives in danger. All of us. We're already at risk. So what is there again in me taking risks again? What have they not done against Nigeria? What have they not abused in Nigeria? Now they will take the constitution where it is clear it says and get 24. After that, and FCT. They failed to get it. They are going to swear this man in, and I should be afraid. I will not be. I'm telling you that on the 20th.
All right. Mr. Ogutoyin Bosope, Mr. Koiki, please don't forget all the people that have wasted in Yoruba and Igboho house. Alhaji and Adogon didn't sleep, and Igboho effort won't go in vain without fighting. And Baba Akintoye, their effort won't go in vain without fighting. Well done, White Lie Shegoni. Then it is mean the power will not be given to Tinubu. That is what it means. Lai Mohammed is closer to them. Really? Kagbonti Baba Payo Adebanjo, just before the election. We are now in March. Election ti parí, ojú everybody ti dá báyìí. Tó kù nísìn. Ara wọn máa yá nísìn láìpẹ́. Wọ́n fẹ́ lọ gbé Bàbá Ayọ̀ Adébánjọ wá. Ẹ̀dá gbọ́n táwọn sọ.
We are fighting for your freedom. It's not another election you're having. If Obi doesn't win, forget Nigeria.
Kí ni bàbá mi pé if Obi does not win? Obi ò dẹ̀ win báyìí, àwọn kan ní Obi ló win. But Obi ò win according to INEC.
Don't take it lightly. We are fighting for your freedom. It's not another election you're having. If Obi doesn't win, forget Nigeria.
Are we getting to that stage that everybody will have to forget Nigeria? Yeah, Jagaban wà ní Paris. Wọ́n ní kò ń ṣe health problem. Àwọn kan ní health problem ní. Òun dẹ̀ sọ pé no, òun lọ fún òun lọ sí Mecca, òun lọ sí Mecca àbí Saudi dẹ̀ ni. But òun àkọ́kọ́ dúró sí Paris. Katrina Lang kí gbogbo àwọn Mùsùlùmí. Ó ní Ramadan Mubarak to all Muslims from all of us at the UK in Nigeria. Àwa náà ń kẹ́ ọ. Ìyá wa nìyẹn Katrina Lang. Ọkùnrin ló ń bọ̀ láìpẹ́ yìí. Mo fẹ́ lọ gbé ọ̀bọ. There's just a lot happening in Nigeria all the time. But, hey, African Confidential, actually, Tinubu has no other person but Sunday Igboho to thank for his win, because I strongly believe that if it wasn't a Fulani fear of a possible alliance between the two should have lost out, Tinubu wouldn't have been served a serious breakfast as far back as the primaries. And it's quite right. Tinubu lo campaign Yoruba Nation fáwọn Fulani. Everybody knows that. Ike kere máa dùn. I'm bọ̀ lórí ẹ̀. Ṣe sùúrù díẹ̀. Okay, ẹ jẹ́ n padà sí Gazette sọ lánàá pé Tinubu lọ sí London àbí Paris dẹ̀. That was yesterday. But àwọn tí mi sọ pé irọ́ ni pé Tinubu wà ní kò sí nǹkan tó ṣe Tinubu, àlàáfíà ní Tinubu wà. I'm not doing my full program, I'm just moving around, so my father watch the program to me later. River Governor staff 48-hour demolition notice on AIT office. Wèrè ní Wike yo. Bàbá mo gbó bàbá. Òun àti Deposit ẹ̀wọ̀ ọjọ́ ṣe mọ́ nìyẹn o. Ayọ̀ Adébánjọ should shut up. Ìyá mi gé mi lékètì bínú tán. Idris ní ìyá àwọn ta ni Koiki. Ìyá gbogbo wa ní Katrina Lang. Katrina ti sọ̀rọ̀ ó ní happy Ramadan àbí kí ló ti kí gbogbo wa náà. Àwọn tó wà nílé kí ló ṣadélékè development sport. Àtìkù Àtìkù ti padà lọ Dubai. Mo story. Tinubu lélẹ̀. Wọ́n ní kò sí ní àwọn ilé ní pé wọ́n flow ẹ̀ lọ abroad. President-elect Bola Tinubu secretly flown abroad. Mr. Tinubu, 70 years old, 70 years old man, could find himself explaining yet again his true state of health that has long drawn keen interest from a skeptical public. President-elect Bola Tinubu has been flown abroad on a secret trip overnight that could complicate the ongoing transition phase in the country, according to two of his associates who related to People's Gazette on the matter. The associate declined to mention which country Mr. Tinubu was flown to, but insisted it was not a medical emergency and he would return to the country. They spoke under anonymity with the Gazette because Mr. Tinubu's team was still deliberating a press statement on the matter. We Yoruba have already forgotten Nigeria. We are Yoruba nation. But Shari, yàrá ṣe sọ fún gbogbo àwa tí èyí tẹ́ ń support àwọn politician. Omobolaji ni Koiki help to talk to Atiku to come back to Dubai. Our visas banned Atiku Gaima. Àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ Atiku dáadáa ni. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí Instagram. Ẹ jẹ́ n kí àwọn tèmi lórí Mixlr. Mo tẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ṣe ń gbọ́ mi dáadáa ṣá. Aláwọ̀ bàbá, thank you so much. And the rest of you. Mr. Daniel, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò àti Comrade Plan B. Báwo ni wẹ́dà ní ìsàlẹ̀ lọ́hùn? Wọ́n ní Tinubu lọ fún medical, wọ́n kọ̀ lọ fún trip kékeré kan. Time will tell. They can lie, but time will definitely catch up on them. Kò sọ́gbọ́n ẹ̀. Mo fẹ́ gbé tí Fáyọ̀ṣe náà gbogbo gbọ́dọ̀ yọ ilé kúrò náà. Then I come back because I log in sorry Instagram me and I don't want anybody to see the back end. Yeah, I'm clear now. So let me see if I can log in now. Fáyọ̀ṣe sọ pé tó bá ti wọlé ló wọlé, kò forget it. Yoruba nation is still ongoing. And that's what I just sọ pé ẹ máa support àwọn olóṣèlú. They are not worth supporting. Ẹ fi wọ́n sílẹ̀. Àwọ̀ kì í ṣe politician. Something is still not right. All right. Nigerians are our Nigerians still watching and understand pé Nigeria is not working. Agbata wa pariwo pé Nigeria ò ṣiṣẹ́ for 3 years. Àwọn prepare for election. Election tó mọ̀ pé irọ́ ni kò lè work. Everybody knows that the election is not going to work. But they were pushing the narrative. Hey, hello, vote. Hello, vote. Hello, vote. Now that everybody has voted, they are now all complaining that the election is not working. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mi yé nísìn. Hello, vote. Hello, vote. Hello, vote. Now that everybody has voted, what are we all waiting for? Ẹ jẹ́ ká show Katrina lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Wọ́n ní kó lọ vote, ẹ lọ vote. They were pushing everybody. Wọ́n push àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, ẹ lọ vote, ẹ lọ vote. Gbogbo yín ti wá vote tán nísìn. Ojú everybody ti dá báyìí, pam. That is Katrina receiving an award from Jeffrey Oyeme. Delighted to pay a farewell call on Jeffrey Oyeme earlier this week and thank him for all he has done to strengthen Sherry ọ̀rọ̀ strengthen tó máa ń lò yẹn, the relationship yẹn, right? Vote or no vote, it will still be rigged. Oh yeah, definitely. Everybody knows that. The more tí àwọn èèyàn wọ̀ bá understand pé ṣẹ́rí ọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n sọ níbí báyìí strengthening further to mutual the benefit of both countries. Ta ló ń benefit láàrin ara wọn? You know, ìyá ìkúrúṣà bèsè Katrina Lam. British. Tó máa rò lọ́kàn wọn ní gbogbo ìgbà pé ẹ̀yin Biafra àti Yorùbá yìí ẹ má bàṣẹ́ jẹ́. Ọlọ́run jọ ní bàbá Adébánjọ go and sleep jọ. Andrew kan bàbá yẹn wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yìn election again. They've been very, very quiet. I don't know why. They won't cook nǹkan lọ́wọ́ fún gbogbo wa. But Afenifere have not said a lot after the election. They've been very, very quiet. But we're waiting for their press release at the appropriate time. We are waiting, and hopefully we will see it. Mr. Fab, sir. Olóṣèlú go get them soon because US don't start to restrict politician visa. How about America? One lọ do we problem tell you. Ṣé gbogbo wọn ban wọn fún visa yẹn? Yíyan ọ̀ràn tó wà nílẹ̀. To be honest, ọ̀ràn tó wà nílẹ̀ rárá. Fún wọn ní visa. Wọ́n bá fún wọn ní visa wá sá lọ ìlú. Àìmọye ìlú tó lè lọ tó lè máa lọ jayé níbẹ̀. I'm sure you all know that. Wọ́n lọ ìlú mi wọ́n lọ máa jayé níbẹ̀. Nigeria is not, compulsory. Wọ́n lọ ìlú mi wọ́n lọ máa jayé níbẹ̀. Mo kí ìyá mi Ìyábọ̀ tẹ̀ like picture Katrina rárá. A máa ń ní kí n yọ kúrò ní. Look at the budget allocated for election. Alone is annoying but nonsense. Billion ni ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ọmọbọ́láhàn Albert. What I could be she but one need is about almost 300 and something billion ni wọ́n lò fún election tó joking. Yoruba Nation and Biafra must stand firmly because the Labour Party action will fast-track self-determination movement. But àwọn tó fẹ́ dàárín àwọn àti Biafra rẹ̀ wọ́n ní relationship yẹn pé kò dára rárá. Bamidele Mohammed, it means there may be no more democracy anymore, which may result to either military regime or country collapse. That will be the genesis of returning military administration. Mr. Sunday Adebanjo Mokinyi and the rest of those that are watching as well. You have a pastor more short woman devil, Katrina Lang. Shetima is Kanuri. Okay. Ṣé ọ̀nà máa fẹ́ protect àwọn tí àbí? Because àwọn Kanuri hàn kì í ṣe Fúlàní náà àbí? Àbí Fúlàní ni wọ́n? Ṣé ká tún ṣeré lọ sí history? Ká padà lọ sí history? Ṣé kí n tún sọ tí mo wò fún yín lórí YouTube mi? Sometimes I don't know whether people love what I watch on my YouTube. Ẹ jẹ́ lọ sí history mi. Interview tí mo ṣe fún bàbá lé nígbà tí mo lọ́lé. Bàbá lálùbáríkà. Yorùbá mi báyìí.
Àbí láti máa bèrè orúkọ yín. Ẹni bá ti rí àwòrán yín, ó ti mọ ẹni tó bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Lákọ̀ọ́kọ́.
Ẹ wo àwọn fìlà tó wà lẹ́yìn yẹn. Oríṣiríṣi ni fìlà lẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ó ní meaning, ó ní different reason tó ṣe máa ń ṣe. Àti gbé nǹkan sọ̀nù. Nígbà táwọn mọ̀ ta ní lọ́wọ́. One man down, a Kerimadu more to come. Hey, Mr. Fab. Hey. Interview náà ti bàbá lélẹ̀. On here almost 2 years now.
Kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ káàrọ̀ òkèèrè nítorí pé a ti ń ṣe Easter láti jọ
This was Easter time.
Monday tó ń pè ní Easter Monday.
Àti gbogbo ọmọ Ẹ̀dùà lóko lónìí ní Nàìjíríà ní Benin Republic ní Togo.
Ṣé rọ́rọ̀ tí bàbá sọ yẹn ní Nàìjíríà ní Benin Republic ní Togo ó tún gbé mi padà sí dynasty taniwá gangan mo ń wo àwọn kankan nípa Ọ̀yọ́ empire mo ń kà láàárọ̀ yìí mo ń post díẹ̀díẹ̀ sórí platform àwọn tó bá ń follow wa lórí kódà platform wa Facebook yẹn mo rí rú ẹ̀rí tó wáyé pé owó wà lórí ẹ̀ ní ó yẹ kí n máa make millions of dollars lé lórí ni but in terms of the amount of mo fẹ́ fún yín ní insight how busy people are monitoring the platform. In the last 28 days, my post in the last 28 days have reached 5.5 million people. Only post reach. Let me increase it a little bit. That is how busy this platform kan lele yo. the amount of àwọn Hausa tó ń wá sórí platform yìí kò ló ń kà rárá mo rí rẹ́rìí. And these are organic. 88,000 followers. There's another èyí tó jẹ́ 320,000 followers. Facebook ti restricted ó jẹ́ kó move. Ìyẹn náà máa move dáadáa tẹ́lẹ̀ but wọ́n nítorí mo ti post so many things tó wà against the policy wọn so ó jẹ́ kó move dáadáa. But in 28 days ní month of February mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó jẹ́ team wa. They're working back to back. Mr. Fab say, Koiki, do you know that the plan God has ahead for you is short, you will fear God more? So, kọ́lọ́n tètè jẹ́ kí plan yẹn ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation yìí, òun lè ní fẹ́ kó tètè, ẹ̀wọ̀n bó bá tètè mú yá, because I don't have any other job. You know, I mean, as much as I can do other things that can bring me revenue and all that, but I said it 3 years ago that this is what I want to do 24 hours. As a full-time job. And I'm so happy that I'm doing it. This is a projection of our platform, organic. 5,535,922 people our post has reached. 5 million, 5.5. Post engagement, 1.9 million. 1,995,914. And every time there are more new followers, we gained 11,512 followers alone last month. Nǹkan mi ti bá post gan gbà mí gan, àwọn kan máa tún lọ polóyè, a ní Koiki ti post nǹkan kan. Mo mọ̀ rí ìdẹ̀jẹ̀ máa lọ polóyè, ẹ fi bàbá yẹn lẹ́yìn máa stress ẹ̀. Thank you so much, Just Reason. Sometimes, you know, it's what just to let people, the power of media and the kind of message that I don't know all other platforms because I've seen them, but Lori Tadotiwa, we post a lot of things. Last year, when I joined election, to post even though most of them come out worry around streaming for election like water. Their safety is more important to me. But last month, in 28 days, Koiki Media was able to reach 5.5 million. Again, new more followers, 11,000. If you only count on your share, share. Love, like. Now, into ban post. The bá dẹ̀ lọ page wà láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Mo ti jí láti aago 5 ni mo dìde láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Ni mo dẹ̀ ti post. Mo kàn fi fún ilé àwọn kan tá ti post. Pé social media, internet ò ń parọ́. So let's go and look at some of our posting. Back to back. Àwọn ọmọ ọbọ̀ ṣe mo ti ní kọ́ máa practical. Kọ́ máa practical kò mo fẹ́ build wọn because mo fẹ́ káwọn náà dá dúró lọ́jọ́ iwájú mo fẹ́ káwọn náà ní reference mo ti sọ yẹn fún wọn wọ́n lè kọ́ ní Yorùbá wọ́n lè kọ́ ní English ìyẹn lè ṣe máa rí pé website kìíní wa ń jáde because èmi mo encourage wọn ẹ̀wọ̀n tó eléyìí nísìn wọ́n ṣe eléyìí mi sì mo ṣe fi post kò tí ì sí lórí Facebook bí architect kan post nísìn ìtọ́ra àwọn tó wà lórí Facebook máa dé máa edit this is Ìbàdàn láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ ìkan náà ọmọ wa ti jáde láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ ó ti fún yín ní update lórí crisis tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ pọ̀ lọ́rọ̀ owó we pray that Emefiele release all the old naira notes right but tẹ́ bá lọ sẹ́yìn gbogbo ilé mo ṣe post kódà àgbà tí mo ṣe gbogbo posting mi tán mo ṣe padà lọ sùn after tí mo fẹ́ sọ time tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo ilé nísìn èmi lè lè nísìn ẹkùn fún rẹ̀ ẹ rí i pé èmi máa fi mídíà bàtà ayé yín jẹ́ ẹ tí mọ̀ nǹkan kan ẹ rò pé lè ní mo ń ṣe ni màá make sure pé ẹni tí ọ̀rọ̀ òye ní north ọ̀rọ̀ mi máa yé wọn ó kàn dùn mí pé mo gba Hausa ni tó wáyé pé mo gba Hausa ni oh my God mo fẹ́ mú bi tí mo ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí post wà láàárọ̀ yìí èmi mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ lè ẹ lè lọ vote 5-6 hours ago lélẹ́yìn nísìn so tá a bá wo 6 hours ago pẹ̀lú time wa nísìn ẹ rí pé around 6 a.m. ni mo post lélẹ́yìn choose one if you are meant to go for a referendum today Yoruba nation, Nigeria, Biafra nation, Arewa nation. At the moment, 81% of people, ẹ tó bá fẹ́ ṣe, ẹ̀yin náà lè lọ máa share link yẹn, fine tí ẹ bá fẹ́ lọ, not everybody's on Facebook. It's just something that I do this morning. Poll. 81% of Yoruba people that are following us, not general in Nigeria, but àwọn tó ń follow platform wa, wọ́n ní yes, àwọn fẹ́ referendum. Thank you so much, Truth and Questions. Biafra sọ pé 17, even 1% Arewa, àwọn tó ní 1% Arewa yẹn lára àwọn Haúsá tó ń tẹ̀lé platform wa ni wọ́n. Ifeoma Adegun, thank you so much for joining. Mokinyawa Subolan, I believe it's Bolanle. So these are some of what we posted this morning. And I think I started with what has been our I think I started from I told you man follow astrology. But and if you have any news you want to share with us, always send it to info@Koikimedia. Clement always send a lot of emails to me. I read them. I'm sure some of you see that I will reply your email. Mokia onti Abel Grams. Tirikona pàdé nìkan lórí Instagram. Báwo ni family, Happy New Year. Moki gbogbo yín. I'm sure everybody knows that Nigeria is not working, but we can all live in denial. 3 years ago, ni mo ti kúrò nínú group Abel Grams WhatsApp chat because mo rí pé ọ̀rọ̀ tí mò ń sọ kò satisfy gbogbo wọn. So, and nobody needs to believe in my ideology. Nigeria òṣìṣẹ́. But I'm sure 3 years from now, I'm not in the group with them, because at the end of the day, tí bá post nǹkan síbẹ̀, àwọn kan sọ pé kí ló ṣe mí? Bí àwọn kan rò pé bí PDP ló rán mi iṣẹ́, bí PDP ló gbé mi wá London. Mo kí ẹ dáadáa, mo fi dárúkọ pàdé nìyẹn, mo ti rí ó ti wọlé báyìí. Tí Nàìjíríà bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ ni, irú pàdé mi, wàláhì ó yẹ kó máa take picture ni. Is a professional photographer and a drone angler. Gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátá, kódà tó bá yẹ pé Nàìjíríà ń ṣiṣẹ́, ó yẹ kó bẹ bọ̀bọ̀ pandemic ó ń gbọ́ mi báyìí. Kó fún ní project pé 33 local government, gbogbo local government ẹ̀ mo ti ní níbí báyìí, mo ti kọ́ ti state mi, but Ọ̀yọ́ state nìkan ló wà níwájú mi. And I can name them: Akinyele, Abijo, Ẹgbẹ́dá, Ìbàdàn North, Ìbàdàn North East, Ìbàdàn North, Ìbàdàn South East, Ìdó, Ìrọ́pọ̀, I hope mo pronounce that. Ìṣẹ̀yìn, Kájọlà, Lágùlú, Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ North, Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́ South, Ìbàràpá Central, Ìbàràpá East, Àtìbà, Àtìsbò, Ọ̀yọ́ West, Ṣakí East, Ìtẹ̀síwájú, Ìwájọwà, Ìbàdàn North West, Ìbàràpá, Sùúrùlérè, Oríire, Ọ̀rẹ́lópọ̀, Ọ̀nà Àrà. Each of these local government ló ní kan tí a lè sell síta àgbáyé. But tá a bá lọ documented dáadáa, báwo la ṣe fẹ́ tà fún foreigner? Ẹlòmíì ọmọ tó ń pè foreigner, ẹ bá ní foreigner, ó rò pé àwọn ta kúrò Nàìjíríà ta sá lọ, ta fẹ́ wá. Ok, nísìnyí, cousin mi, ó sáré lọ weekend kan ní Friday yìí. Ẹ ṣáà tí mo cousin mi wà látà. Ó sáré lọ weekend sí Ìtàló. Ó kọ̀ sáré ṣeré lọ tí mo sọ yẹn, ọjọ́ mẹ́ta lọ lò ó. Èlò lẹ rò pé ná àwọn méjì dẹ̀ lọ. Èlò lẹ rò pé ná ẹni tó gbéra láti London lọ sí Italy fún short break, pé wàhálà táwọn ti ṣe, wọ́n ti ṣiṣẹ́ bí wọ́n bá ṣàṣiṣẹ́ ìyẹn gbọ́dọ̀ rest. Èlò lẹ rò pé journey yẹn máa cost ẹ̀. Èlò ara tí Katrina Lang sọ fún àlelẹ́yìn, Nigerian 2023 election fascinating, positive, òyìnbó jágbajàgba. Àtàwọn èèyàn bá ti rí àwọn òyìnbó pẹpẹ. But nígbà tá a bá document ta ní gbogbo 33 local government lọ́yọ̀ state, báwo la ṣe fẹ́ gbé òyìnbó wá kó wá ṣọlidé ní Akínyẹlé? Ṣé òyìnbó máa wá sí, ó máa lọ sí Ìbàdàn North East níbi tí kò sí security? Mokinyo Otunba Adekunle, you expect people to come, to somebody say maximum, both of them will have spent is about 1,000, say 1,005 lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ yẹn. I don't know. More money because only K order to me euro sign. At least about a cheap ticket. 15,000 naira. 15,000 naira. I develop. Only to 15,000 pounds, but at least about there be give and take. Mo ní hotel yẹn ká tẹ̀sọ́ pé 100 pounds ní hotel ọjọ́ mẹ́ta 300 ká tẹ̀sọ́ pé o ticket wọ́n rí cheap ticket ó gbà àwọn olóyìn cheap láti lọ náà kò dẹ̀ sí holiday níta nísìn so pátápátá ticket wọn bí i 200 ká tẹ̀sọ́ pé ticket àwọn méjèèjì 200 hotel 300 ó di 500 olóúnjẹ wọn níbẹ̀ ó máa rọ́njẹ ní because yàrá nìkan ló ń book wọn ò ní fún ẹ lóúnjẹ so eventually that trip tí wọ́n lọ yẹn have cost nothing less than give and take 700 to 800 pounds. Tábà lọ wo 700 pounds in equivalent of owó Nàìjíríà lẹ́nìí 700 times ká tó sọ pé 900 naira ní owó lẹ́nìí I don't know. That's 630,000 naira. Ṣé mọ̀ pé tó bá jẹ́ pé Ọ̀yọ́ state is a country probability wà pé wàá wá sí Ọ̀yọ́ láti fi wo kí ló ń bẹ ní Àtisbo sórí ìwọ tó wá wà ní Àtisbo yẹn tó ń complain pé òrìṣẹ́ ṣe àwọn méjì tó máa dé yẹn ó máa ríṣẹ́ fún wọn because wọ́n máa jẹun wọ́n máa káàkiri wọ́n máa so many things that you can think of n tó ń pè ní tourism yẹn but mo kí ìyàwó mo dúpẹ́ Adégúnwà but ẹ ká máa tọ́ra ká máa sọ pé Nàìjíríà máa ṣiṣẹ́ ó máa ṣiṣẹ́ níjọ́ kan mo ti gbọ́ ìtàn bàbá wa àwa náà ti di bàbá because gbogbo àwa tí a wà ní secondary school ní 1991 kájọ wọlé ní 1990 àwọn colleagues ní gbogbo àti di bàbá àwọn tó ti bímọ àwọn tó ti bí Ọlọ́run fún wa lọ́mọ bí. ìtí mọ́mísì tèmi sọ fẹ́mi náà nìyẹn pé Nàìjíríà máa da kó tó di kó ó ya dànù ni mọ́mísì tèmi náà sá lọ ni. ó ṣe pé they were not doing well ìyá tó ti lọ 23 countries but àwọn rí future yẹn mọ́mísì tèmi dẹ̀ ti travel while tèmi wà ní secondary school kẹ́ lè rí outside tí mọ́mísì tèmi ti ní tí àkànṣe àwọn sọ pé mi ní sìn pé Nàìjíríà máa dà ó ṣe gbogbo wọn ni mo bá jà nínú group o but I left the group personally because Yorùbá nation tí mo ń ṣe mo bá family mi sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀rọ tó mo ń ṣe rí ni fact lẹ́ ń gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi yẹn family mi àsọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation kí ni kàn mí pẹ̀lú à ń sọ tẹ́mi bá ń gbádùn tó yẹ kí àwọn tó kò kọ́ máa gbádùn ṣé gbogbo Kóìkì ló ń gbádùn nísìnyí ẹ lọ sí Ìjẹ̀bú kẹ́ lọ àwọn Kóìkì tó ń jìyà tí à ti mú wọn bín ọ̀pọ̀ ní báyìí mo sọ fún ìkan tájọ wà lábroad àìtí sọ̀rọ̀ láti bí ọdún mẹ́ta nísìn and I don't care it cost me anything nígbà tó fẹ́ máa sọ pé èmi ń gbórúkọ bàbá wa kí ní àbẹ́mo gbaná yóò ní orúkọ bàbá yín wò bàbá ó bí wa lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ mà ní ẹran tígbà kan tí mo ní mo fẹ́ jó embassy tí fídíò yẹn lọ round làwọn kan bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pè mí pé orúkọ dádì wa kí ní àbẹ̀wò gbaná yóò ní orúkọ dádì yìí nìkan ló lórúkọ ni dádì nìkan kan ló lórúkọ mo kí ìyàwó Ayétúndé Morgan káàbọ̀ táwa kùn bá wà lábroad tá à ń gbádùn ṣé gbogbo Kóìkì ló ń gbádùn ní Nàìjíríà lénìí ẹ lọ sí Ìjẹ̀bú kẹ́ lọ àwọn Kóìkì tó tí mo bá bàbá kan náà àwọn elders wa kan sọ̀rọ̀ ní gabi last year mo bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ti dàgbà gan wọn náà wọ̀n níná àgbàlagbà àwọn nìkan ló ń dágbé ìlú jágbajàgba ìlú òṣì ìlú tó ní respect kò ní respect fọmọdé kò ní respect fàgbàlagbà but nítorí pé àwa rò pé àwa educated Kóìkì ká lọ dìbò ẹ ṣáà ti dìbò nísìn ẹ ti dìbò ká máa wo bó ṣe fẹ́ lọ ìbẹ́ dìbò náà títí náà nìyẹn nígbà tí Buhari fi wọlé gbogbo ilẹ̀ campaign fún Buhari dọ̀là báyìí I'm sure pé púpọ̀ ní yín kéka jẹ ni sí bàbá sí Buhari a ní Nàìjíríà ò ń ṣe ìlú so let me come back here so I started posting this morning at about almost okay mi kọ́ mo post àwọn ọmọ mi nígbà tí ọmọ ìtì rí fídíò yìí jáde ó ní this is Nigerian politician ẹ jẹ́ ká wo kíní. This is how Nigerian politicians steal our money even when they don't need it. Ẹ wo bó ṣe ń jẹ kíní yẹn. They are never satisfied. Ẹ wo. This is Nigerian politician. Ẹ wo. Ó ṣà ń kó mi. Nigerian politician lélẹ́yìn. This is the Nigerian politician. Ẹ wo. Kò wà satisfied. Ó fẹ́ jẹ gbogbo tó wà lórí tébù yẹn tán. That is the Nigerian politician for you. They are criminals.
This is how
Ẹ jẹ́ ká tó lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí.
politicians steal our money, even when they don't need it.
Ṣẹ́gbọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká yọ sound yẹn kúrò. This is how your politician bọ́n ṣe báyé yìí jẹ́. Owó tó jẹ́ kó allocate fún local government. Ó fẹ́ ra lé sí Dubai, òun náà fẹ́ ra lé sí London. Ó ti wá rí pé London ti fẹ́ lé nísìnyí, ilé tó ti mú kékeré máa dùn mọ́ bíbá nísìnyí. Ọ̀nà ìlú wo ló tún máa lọ ra lé sí? Gbogbo wọn náà lọ fẹ́ ní foreign passport. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń rà ni. So you don't have to agree with my utterances. Kò sí tó kọ́ mi. Koiki bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹni mọ̀ ìjàngbara là ń jà. Ó ní láti like tó bá like mi tẹ́lẹ̀ pé torí bí ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní sọ̀rọ̀ like mi mọ́. Mo fẹ́ kó like mi. Àní mo bá ẹni tó jẹ́ àjọjẹ́ family gan àsọ̀rọ̀. Wọ́n sọ pé ìwọ ta ni wọ́. Fact lẹ́ ń gbọ́ lẹ́nu mi yẹn. Ẹni tó jẹ́ ọba kan sọ̀rọ̀ látọdún 3 lórí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation. Ìwọ bá ń sọ ta ni wọ́. Ìyẹn mo ṣe máa ń wọ èyí tẹ́ bá pè nígbà mi lórí program ti máa especially irú gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ ìgbà àtàwọn àti Biafra. I'm not going to give anybody any more. Tí wàá ti pẹ́ tí gbọ́dọ̀ lọ síbẹ̀ máa cut out. Ìjàngbara là ń jà. Mo trust anybody o. I don't trust anybody. Anybody inú ilé set me up. Ẹ lè pa mí. Mo trust mo kí ìyàwó lára Ọlábọ̀dé. Mo trust anybody. Kí n play tiwa sí yẹn. Buhari ti sọ̀rọ̀ àti gbọ́. Òkè máa wá jáde nísìnyí. Mo trust anybody o. Lẹ́yìn ìyá tó bí mi tó tẹ̀gẹ̀ sí mi lórí. Àti ìyàwó mi àtàwọn ọmọ mi. Mo trust anybody. Ní tí mo gbé dání ó risk gan. Wọ́n set up Nnamdi Kanu ni. Ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn lórí burúkú dọ́sìn ló set up Nnamdi Kanu tó fi lọ gbé ní ibi tó wà. I don't trust anybody o. Kọ̀lábò kẹ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Àní mo kọ̀lábò for now. For now mo kọ̀lábò pẹ̀lú anybody. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n máa pariwo Yorùbá nation mi. Kí n máa sọ̀rọ̀. Ìyàn mi pé mo hate gbogbo àwọn media tó kù. I love every one of them. But for now, mo dá dúró ni. Mo lè educate ara mi. Èmi náà jẹ́ ọ̀pọ̀ mi náà máa educate ara mi nínú program. Láì mi wá òpónà tabarẹ̀ tó fẹ́ dá sí. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti rẹ̀ mí máa lọ. But for now mo ṣe ní strength. Kí ni mo fẹ́ fàyọ ni pé tẹ bá ní ẹ̀yin ò gbọ́ àwọn èèyàn wá sórí platform mi tó ń wo nǹkan tí mo ṣe 5.5 million làwọn tó wá sórí Koiki Media ní last month. Fún 28 days in February, we were able to reach 5.5 million. Ni post mi reach. Engagement yẹn ó bad gan ni. Because ojoojúmọ́ là ń ṣe wàhálà. Nígbà tí mo ti jí láàárọ̀ yìí ní 7 hours ago, mo kọ́kọ́ fi àdúrà, mo fi síwájú. Ibi tẹ́mi ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ posting tèmi lélẹ̀. Olúwa gbọ́ àdúrà wa o. Nígbà tí mo gbé yẹn sílẹ̀, mo translate sí English. May God hear our prayer in this Ramadan, inshallah. Mo wá bẹ̀rẹ̀. Kí ni mo tún fi bẹ̀rẹ̀? Mo ní Nigeria is a cruise ship. Atiku to tribunal declare me winner or order rerun. Tí ó máa possible ṣá. Ẹ̀rí pàtíkù tí mo gbá náyó. Owó tó ti jí nígbà tó wà ní vice president. Owó yẹn ò tí tó. Atiku tó fẹ́ tà wá fún Arab. Tátìkù bá wọlé, ẹ ti jẹ gbèsè. Àwọn kan ní ẹ mọ̀ pé Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù yẹn. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, oh my God. Ẹ̀gbọ́n ti jẹ paint ẹ̀. Mo rí ẹ̀gbọ́n tó wà ní Rwanda, bíbo Kigali, ọjà tó tútù padà, àwọn àtàwọn FIFA. Mo rí FIFA president náà gbogbo wọn tọ́jà ń ṣe yàtọ̀ àtàwọn òkúta àti Dani Amokachi. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ ilé ayé ọmọ Yorùbá. Àtíkù òun jáde, Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù òun endorse àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation as priority. Now tátìkù ti lulẹ̀ báyìí, Àtíkù náà wò ti lulẹ̀. Ẹ wá ń kọ, this is the first post láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. 7 nígbà táwọn kan sùn, àwa ń post. Ẹ wá ní kò ní sí engagement máa wà because platform yẹn we make sure pé a lọ́wọ́ oríṣiríṣi news tí ó máa keep engagement yẹn kó máa going. Kò ṣe pé nígbà tí bá ṣe program for 3 days, ó kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ àwọn èèyàn ní àpò ìpínpolówó àǹkan kan, we want to hear from you. but engagement mi ó ní agbára. Nǹkan mo sọ fún yín pé iṣẹ́ tí ó wà lẹ́mìí mi ni tí bá ti ń jí tí mo ti pe Elédùmarè tí mo kí dáadáa màá lọ sínú àkáǹtì mi mo máa sọ fún yín ta ló send owó sí mi bí a 20 pound kan wà ń bẹ̀ náírà wà ń bẹ̀ tí bá ti rówó kódà àdúpẹ́ fọlọ́run màá wá lọ sórí Twitter màá kọ́kọ́ lọ wọ àwọn ọmọ ṣàlàáfíà lọ́wọ́ ṣé àlàáfíà nìyàwó wà kí gbogbo yín sùn dáadáa ìgbà míì màá lọ wò wọ́n while they are sleeping màá wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ engagement tèmi. The next one mo lọ gbé ìyá ìjáde ìṣẹ́rí Nigeria 2023 ẹ má bínú ìyá mi yàbọ̀ máa gbé ojú àwọn méjèèjì jáde. No, I know you don't like the face. Ẹ jẹ́ n change fìlà tí mo dé eléyìí dàbí fìlà wọn kíní ẹ jẹ́ n dé tí mo máa ń like fìlà yìí dáadáa. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Azeez ẹ máa bá mi get fìlà fàlà ìyàn kan promise mi nígbà kan àdèmọ̀ bí a tiwa lọ́sẹ̀ ṣe because movement divide nígbà tí movement wà lójú kan a mọ̀ pé tí bá sọ pé yẹn kan mo nídìí kan máa ń yí sí but ní sí tí movement divide ní sí gbogbo àwọn tó promise wa ní kan gbà yẹn gan ọ̀fun wa mọ́ wà á dúpẹ́ fọlọ́run ayé ò bàjẹ́ as long as táwọn kan bá ṣèwà tó ṣe fún wa ní prayer àti support. I posted this then the next one I went up and say if you have any news or intel send it to us at info. Some of you might not understand this but I want to understand it. Pluto out of Capricorn, Pluto into Aquarius, Orbit ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti èní depending on the time zone ìlú tó bá wà ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ lálẹ́ ní UK láti 11:24 p.m. ní New York 12:24 p.m. History and astrology wherever you are. Mo ní láti máa ṣàlàyé àwọn tó bá mọ̀ nípa astrology. Now mo go further. Mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ ká kọ engagement wa ti month sílẹ̀ tó bá di next month àwo ti 50 March mo dẹ̀ kọ mo ní Yorùbá nation is a reality. Then the next one I posted what has been our gain in this 1914 union. Kí ni gain wa gan? Kí la gain? Ìyá mi Ìyábọ̀ ní ti sókè báwo rí ẹjẹ́ ìyá ojú ẹ̀ kúrò kò tó ju woman ẹ̀ gan ẹjẹ́ ìgbé dènà àti gbowó sí i. Ṣé wọ́n lè fi mọ́tò tiẹ̀ sílẹ̀ ó lè fi gbogbo àwọn mọ́tò yìí kò fi sílẹ̀ kó wá ní ó fi máa jà fún rẹ̀. Àwa táìtì ní gan à ń bẹ lọ́run pé ká ní jalopi kékeré kan. Ìgbòho ní mọ́tò ó ní gbogbo ó nílé ó ní àgbàlá ó ní owó ó ní network ó ti travel lọ different places ó wá gbé gbogbo ẹ̀ lẹ̀ èmi àti ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ta jọ ń gbá table tennis èèyàn mélòó ló lè ṣe. Ṣèbí Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù nìyẹn ìbá ọmọ Yorùbá kí ló dé ti Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù ìbí Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù ti interview Bob Deal ó ti interview Ìgbòho rí náà CSR, you know. But at the end of the day, Bob D does not believe Miami Heat face card. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ẹ bá mi fi kàn máa send oyè yín àfi sí post ìdarí ìrìn àdélé àkànkàn. Mo kàn lè lọ ṣe Yorùbá sticker sí lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́. Mo like ilé dáadáa. Nàìjíríà dẹ̀ láti ṣe léyìí o nígbà tá à ń ṣe ń ṣe fìlà nígbà yẹn. Táwọn kan rò pé bí wọ́n ti kó fún mi rẹpẹtẹ ní Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń pariwo orúkọ mi káàkiri. Àwọn kówó sí Kóìkì lọ́wọ́. Then I posted this out. It's like a poll. It's 81%. Then the next post was Russia will be using Chinese yuan in business deal with China and Russia, moving away from US dollar. Lọ́nà ẹ̀ka rí Third World War. Russia ò fi gbà máa ń follow ìjà yẹn gan ò fi gbà o. Then mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lọ wo Ọ̀yọ́ Empire. Báwo l'Ọ̀yọ́ Empire gan ṣe collapse? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan? Ọ̀yọ́ had grown into a formidable inland power by the end of 14th century. Ìyàn mélòó ló mọ tán pè ní 14th century? Ìwọ ń pariwo Nàìjíríà, ó fẹ́ parẹ́ fún Nàìjíríà. A ní Nàìjíríà, àná ti jẹ́ ọba rí. Ọba dẹ̀ ṣì ni wá, but because inú Nàìjíríà ta wà, ó ń fún wa ní setback. Kò jẹ́ ká tẹ̀síwájú. Ọ̀yọ́ náà ló wà wájú mi, 33 local government. Ẹ jáde gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ dìbò nísìnyí kẹ́ wá sọ fún mi pé local government kan ṣiṣẹ́ láti 1999. Ẹ jáde kẹ́ wá fọwọ́ sọ̀yà fún mi. Thank you so much, Rahim Abbas. Ẹ jáde Prince Adébáyọ̀ Mọ́níyíṣítù. Ẹ jáde kẹ́ wá fi ọwọ́ sọ̀yà pé ibì kan tó sọ pé ní 14th century is a formidable inland. Ṣé Ọ̀yọ́ ṣì wà formidable léde nísìn? kò lè wà formidable because abẹ́ Nàìjíríà ni a wà so ó fún wa ní setback. Hello. Ètò ni ẹ.
Ó kàn wù tí a máa kàn ní fún àwọn èèyàn tó ń pa ọdún wà Nàìjíríà ní ẹni láti wọ́n bẹ̀sẹ̀ ìwọlé.
Wọ́n ní pé wọlé náà ni.
Torí àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kì í wọ́n fún bí òṣùwọ̀n ẹ máa ṣe nǹkan tó ojú yẹn á já ẹ máa rí pé kí ní ìwọ́n wọ́n ilé ìgbé wá fi ayé padà ẹ máa tún máa yan orí wọn. A máa ń fìjà máa ń ṣe five boys. Nínú tí ò ráyè. Ìyá máa jẹ́ ní àwọn èèyàn á sì jẹ́ kó fẹ́ sà fún òun jà. Ẹ máa tún máa fara pamọ́ pé ìjẹ́ púpọ̀ sáyé ìgbà ń ṣe ìjẹ́ púpọ̀ fara sí. Kí ló dé? Nàìjíríà ò gbà. Oko oníṣẹ́ owó ìṣòro kàkà. Ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ̀rún owó. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń pa owó Nàìjíríà kò sẹ́ni tí ò lówó kò sẹ́ni tí ò wà òkè.
Ara ti máa ń wò lélẹ́yìn o, à ń gbádùn yín bàbá wa tó ń pè, Mr. Adam. Network Ghana ló ti ń pè. Ara tí mo ń wò lélẹ́yìn o, ó kí wọ́n ti padà dé.
Gbogbo táwọn pìfẹ́ǹtì látijọ́ yìí. Gbogbo táwọn pìfẹ́ǹtì látijọ́ yìí. Ibẹ̀ kò ní ṣẹlẹ̀. Ó nígbà tó bá tó ṣẹlẹ̀ mo ti wọ́n tó là. Ìjà ẹ̀ tí ò bá ṣẹlẹ̀ wà láwọn
ọ̀dà.
Gbogbo tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láì lẹ́yìn ẹlẹ́sọ̀ pé wọ́n jáde wọ́n sì bá ti gbá kan ọ̀kan bá láti dé lójú. Ẹ ti sọ nínú ọ̀rọ̀. Àwa Yorùbá àti ń kọ́ àlàyé ọ̀rọ̀ á lè máa ń gbọ́ èrè ọ̀rọ̀ náà àti ń kọ́ àlàyé látọ̀. Kí ṣe gbogbo ẹni tó máa fi sọ̀rọ̀ mọ́ lóyún. Lórí platform yìí mo ti mọ gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ pé gbogbo kìíní ìtẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ yìí wọ́n tẹ̀ ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ tètè. Bọ̀ àwa Yorùbá àìkú ká ronú pé gbogbo tó ń sọ yìí wọ́n máa ti sọ ó dẹ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Sọ bí ló ti. Kí mínísítì wọ́n tẹ̀ kó bàálẹ̀ Yorùbá láìpẹ́ lọ́sọ̀rọ̀. Gbogbo ẹ̀ náà.
Èyí mo ti ń sọ tipẹ́ náà. Mo ti sọ tipẹ́. Nothing is yet over lọ́rọ̀ Nàìjíríà.
Ìjà náà ìjà la máa jà.
Wọ́n ti ní ká má jà ọ́, ẹ má dárúkọ jà ọ́. Wọ́n ti ní ká yé máa dárúkọ jà ọ́. Okay.
Kò pọ́sibù wá àdìgbàjà. Àwọn ìgbà àdìgbàjà.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Adam láti Ghana làwọn ti pè mí. Truth, yeah, I love everything space. You know, mo máa ń visualize pé Olódùmarè tóbi ṣá. You know, human being travel down there. Wọ́n lè ṣe gbogbo nǹkan báyìí. Àwa táwa wà nísàlẹ̀ àárí kankan ṣe. Ní ọkàn wàrí ìsìjìnà dùn yẹn tuntun ti gbé wa ó ní Yorùbá space program. You know, oríṣiríṣi ni máa ń wò. Eléyìí náà wà lára tí mo wò náà. Mexico, when the International Space Station is traveling through Mexico. Ìwọ náà wá yé bó ṣe rí. Àwọn ṣì wà níbi àrùn jẹjẹ àríkìní kan ṣe. You see? Mexico ló ń kọjá báyìí. Ṣé àpé International Space Station wọ́n kàn máa ń yí lọ ráùndì ní ilẹ̀ aṣúmọ́ wọn, ọ̀sán á mọ́ wọn bẹ́ẹ̀, gbogbo àṣemọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. À ń padà bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ àwọn ilé. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n complete. This is just a breakdown of what Koiki Media does. Like I said, tó bá yẹ pé every click là ń make owó lórí Facebook pé àwọn èèyàn kò wọnú Facebook wa, but it's not like that. 5.5 million. Post engagement 1.9 million. New page followers 11,000. Tí wọ́n bá rí kankan, wọ́n ní máa wà. It's because we are pushing effort every day. Nígbà tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń wo ilé nísìn, Ọ̀yọ́ had grown into a formidable inland power. Ọmọ tán pè ní land power ni by the end of the 14th century. Then I went further. The same article ni mò ń kà, but mo wá ń bring ẹ̀mọ̀gbé tí bá gbé wá ní gbága kò ní everybody mo mú bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí break it down. During the 17th century, Ọ̀yọ́ began a long stretch of growth, becoming a major empire. We were a major empire in 17th century. 21st century la wà nísìn, but nígbà kan ní 17th century, mo kí yàrá Pastor Mo, Ramadan Kareem fún gbogbo èèyàn wa. Fáwọn tó ń gbàwẹ̀ ni o, ẹlòmíì ti jọ̀sán báyìí o, ẹlòmíì half day ló máa ń ṣe, irú àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké báyìí, half day la máa ṣe tó bá di aago 12 gbọ́dọ̀ lọ jẹun, torí àrùn ọ̀nù mi ti ń ṣe pápápápá báyìí. Ní 17th century, ẹ rántí pé nígbà tá à ń ṣe program ní mo ṣe bookmark kìíní yẹn, ẹ jẹ́ n lọ mú jáde bookmark. Ẹ rántí pé a rí bookmark yẹn dà. Global African history. How many people remember that? That we were looking at the global African history timeline. And history, àwọn politicians in Nigeria ni wọ́n jẹ́ kí history yẹn kọ́ embedded, kọ́ sọ di nǹkan mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. And I think we went further and further. Ó dà pé àti kọjá so many, àti kọjá the first mama kọsílẹ̀ ibi tá ti ẹ̀tọ́ bá ti follow wa tẹ́lẹ̀ ní ti máa miss. So ó dà pé bí number màmọ́ àti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa life and era of Jesus Christ beginning in the 133 AD. Ó dà pé àti kọjá bíbá. Slave is a major feature of the Roman Empire for several hundred years. Over 2 million slaves from Europe, the Middle Belt, the Middle East and Africa are in Rome, Italy at the end of the Republic. So nígbà tí àwa ń sọ 17th century náà, ayé kan ń lọ níjọ́ náà lọ ní ibi tó ń pè ní Ọ̀yọ́ Empire. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kẹ̀rẹ́ àwọn láwọ̀ funfun náà fẹ́ explore. Àwọn náà fẹ́ ṣe kí ni? Wọ́n fẹ́ mú as much of it tó lè mú jáde lára continent yẹn. Àwọn ló wá ń dictate fún wa lẹ́nìí. Ìyẹn nírú Katrina Malan àbí Katrina Lang ìyá wa. Ìyẹn kan ní kí n má pè ní ìyá wa bó ló wà nísìnyí. Okay, mo ti àti move away. Tó ń sọ pé election. Ó ṣe jẹ́ àwọn òyìnbó ló máa dictate fún wa. Ṣé ìwọ tó jọmọ Yorùbá ṣé kò jẹ́ kó mọ̀ pé òyìnbó kọ́ ló yẹ kó máa dictate ayé fún wa? Àwa ló yẹ ká dictate what we want. Àwa la máa dictate. If you make sure pé program yìí ò ju more than okay tó bá ti fẹ́ tó 3 hours a máa end it because láti wà ní 2 hours 19 minutes. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mi yé nísìnyí. So let's go further now. Ẹ ká tún lọ wo history díẹ̀. Number 31 màmá bí a ti ka bíbá ìtẹ́lẹ̀. Okay, let's start from here. So Elizana, the ruler of Oxum, ó dà pé mo rí boy nínú bàtí mò ń ṣe, yeah, I think I saw this something like that. Mo post it. Ẹ jẹ́ n kọ́kọ́ lọ mú jáde ní Google search. Ethiopia, àwọn náà ní history burúkú. There's something I picked up. Orúkọ yẹn mo remember when I was doing my posting. Let me go. Now, in the second half of the 18th century, dynastic intrigues, palace coups, and a failed military campaign began to weaken the Ọ̀yọ́ Empire. Àwọn wo ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn tó fi di pé palace coup ṣẹlẹ̀? Dynasty, ẹ mọ̀ pé mo sọ fún yín nípa tó ń pè ní dynasty àti ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ fún wa lórí ètò níbi ìjẹta kọ́ ni. Tá a bá dẹ̀ mọ̀ jẹ́ kí n tún gbé jáde again. Tó bá sọ pé nǹkan dynasty. Gbogbo àwọn ọba tó ń jẹ nísìn púpọ̀ nínú wọn kọ́ ni ọba gangan. Wọ́n ti bà lineage yẹn jẹ́. Tó bá sọ pé nǹkan dynasty. A ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ fún ìtẹ́ ń follow wa dáadáa.
Dynasty.
Once again.
Dynasty.
A line of hereditary rulers of a country. A succession of people from the same family who play a prominent role in business, politics, or another field. Bloodline. What does it mean? Àwọn kan náà ń béèrè lórí Google. A succession of rulers of the same line of descent. Ṣé gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń jẹ́ ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá láti kàmú láti bí 18th century? Ṣé àwọn ni the right people àbí wọ́n ti change ẹ̀ mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́? Because ní 18th century ni wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í ṣe palace coup. Kó má jẹ́ pé báyìí gan ni wọ́n ti change ìran ọba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Because àmọ́ who is the true Yorùbá king anymore? A kàn sọ pé ọba kábíyèsí o. ṣé àwọn gangan ni fámú àbí wọ́n ti di intí politician appoint wọn tí gbogbo adẹ̀ ti mọ̀ ẹ wá ní ẹ fẹ́ ìlọsíwájú nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ lè rí ìlọsíwájú because the dynasty has been changed gbogbo yẹn dẹ̀ ti ṣẹlẹ̀ as far back as 18th century ni wàhálà ti ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Ọ̀yọ́ empire níjọ́ náà lọ 18th century gbogbo eléyìí ni gbogbo àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ gbogbo tí mo sọ yìí but àwa pa gbogbo eléyìí tí àwa ń lé Nàìjíríà a fẹ́ progress Nàìjíríà ṣebí gbogbo ara mọ̀ pé wọ́n fẹ́ àwọn olóṣèlú ló ń fi ọba jẹ nísìn àbí gbogbo ọmọ everybody lámọ̀ náà everybody knows that. So in the second half of 18th century, dynastic intrigues, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo meaning intrigues, tó bá sọ pé nǹkan intrigues, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo dictionary meaning of intrigues. Kí ni ó mean?
Intrigue.
Ẹ̀rí bó ṣe pé.
Intrigue.
Again.
Intrigue.
Arose the curiosity or interesting or fascinating. Ibi tí Katrina Lang ti mú ìbò yìí wá nìyẹn. The secret planning of something. Ẹni sùúrù ẹ jẹ́ padà sí Katrina baby ibo ló wà ẹ jẹ́ padà sẹ́yìn àní padà sẹ́yìn lágbára Ọlọ́run gbọ́dọ̀ lọ mú àwòrán Katrina baby yẹn wá màá lẹ́yìn láti scroll padà sẹ́yìn again Katrina baby okay òun lè lè mú ní láti scroll okay Nigeria election mo fẹ́ wo bó ṣe lò òyìnbó yẹn ni o fascinating ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ English dictionary fascinating tó bá sọ pé nǹkan ẹ jẹ́ lọ spelling mi kí n yára fascinating kí ni meaning ẹ tó bá sọ pé nǹkan fascinating again ṣé máa pé tó bá jẹ́ pé a ní Yorùbá country tiwa irú eléyìí nísìn èdè ló máa fi sọ jáde á sọ ní èdè Yorùbá ara ṣe ta máa ṣe náà nìyẹn tó bá sọ pé nǹkan
fascinating
extremely interesting so Katrina sọ fáwa pé Nigeria election ó wà extremely interesting oh my God hello yawa. ẹ káàsán ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò.
ẹ wò ó in fact mo rí fídíò kan tí wọ́n sẹ́ẹ̀dì sí mi mo ti sẹ́ẹ̀dì sí GR1 níbi tí àwọn òyìnbó yẹn tó ti list gbogbo àwọn Áfíríkà wípé wọn ò fẹ́ kí Áfíríkà wípé táfíríkà bá fẹ́ lọ.
tóyìnbó kan sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń present àbí ó ti wà fídíò yẹn ti wà ń tà tipẹ́ àwọn ti wà ń tà tipẹ́.
mo ní àwọn náà torí ewo ifá tí mi tẹ ọmọ kan tí mo tẹ lè sọ rárá pé ok àwọn other white countries wọ́n lọ wọn ọjà peacefully ni wọ́n lọ nígbà tí USSR fẹ́ pín sí 15 country wọn ṣáàjà wọ́n lọ peaceful ni wọ́n lọ peaceful ni ó ṣe jẹ́ pé Áfíríkà yìí nítorí pé èmi máa ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn mo máa ń sọ fáwọn Áfíríkà tájọ wà àwọn Áfíríkà tájọ àwọn Ghana tájọ wà yìí pé àwọn British yìí wọ́n ti mọ̀ pé tí àwọn Áfíríkà tó bá pé kì í ṣe pé wọ́n colonize wa ni tó bá jẹ́ àwọn aláàbájẹ́ the best ní gbogbo àgbáyé because we are very intelligent and they were educated and they go jù wọn lọ ṣọtẹ yìí àní níbi tí mo ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ bí ìṣe náà máa ń wò mí pé pé àwọn láìkí kọ́lọ̀ mi ìgbà tí mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ ní gym bí àwọn ohun etí yẹn ṣe máa ń sọ fún mi nìyẹn pé àwọn láìkí kọ́lọ̀ mi pé àwọn láìkí kọ́lọ̀ ara wọn pé àwọn láìkí kọ́lọ̀ mi ẹ wò ó jẹ́ ní àwọn èèyàn kan sọ pé ẹ pé ká má sọ̀rọ̀ ní kọ́ńtẹ́ṣì sọ lórí prógráàmù yìí láti tẹ̀tẹ̀ mi ti wò kó kọ́ńtẹ́ṣì sọ yẹn òun ló sì máa padà ṣẹlẹ̀ torí mo níyàn kan bí tó jẹ́ pé ọmọ Nàìjíríà ló ń sọ fún mi bẹ́ẹ̀ ó ní pé tá a bá jà ó ní pé a lè gbára wa sílẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ àwọn fífún yìí ipò wa lè má pọ̀ o ipò wa lè má pọ̀ o pé bọ̀ sí pé àníjà yẹn pé irọ́ ni pé àníjà yẹn pé irọ́ ni ẹ wo kò tẹ̀ sí kan táwọn fi politician wèrè yẹn kò tẹ̀ sí kankan tó fẹ́ tẹ́ fẹ́ sọ fún wa because kò sí kankan tó ti sọ fún wa ó ti sún ẹ wò ìyá tó lọ jí pé ní Ondo State ìyá yẹn ó ti lè lọ tẹ̀ka o ó ti lè wà lára àwọn tó tẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó ti bóòtù ìyá ti bóòtù tiẹ̀. Ìyá Tọ́lá ókè mo tẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ mú.
àwọn tó tẹ̀ ká o lẹ́yìn náà òní tí wọ́n gbé ìyá wọ́n pa ọmọ ìyá. Wọ́n ṣe ìyá yẹn léṣe.
Tó pọ̀ jù tó ń ṣe kékeré.
Wọ́n pa ọmọ wọn. Ẹ wo ṣé ìgbà wo la fẹ́ ṣe gbogbo ìlú tí mo wáyà kí n tilẹ̀kùn náà. Ṣèbí lift ló máa gbé wa wọlé náà ń tilẹ̀kùn. Ìgbà mímì ń fi àlẹ̀kùn yàrá mi entrance gan à ń sí. Kò tẹ̀ sẹ́nìtì tó dẹ̀ máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Àjọ kí wá ní ìlú yẹn tẹ̀ ọlọ́wà láì. Wọ́n máa sọ pé àwọn tó fa passport Nàìjíríà yà. Kí lédè tó wà ní fàyà? Everybody ló ti tó bá jẹ́ pé mi gan mo ní another passport rúbì tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n fún wa resident permit. Èmi gan wà lára àwọn tó máa yá. Mo wà lára àwọn tó máa ya passport Nàìjíríà. Tó bá jẹ́ pé ibi tí mo wá máa fún wa ní resident permit níbi pé wọ́n máa fún wa ní passport ọmọ onílùú mi. Èmi gan máa yá. Because ìlú yẹn ó disgrace everybody ibi tí yàn bá lọ. Ó disgrace everybody. So kí wá ní ìlú tó tóbi aníkàtì ẹ̀ pé kọ́ńtì ẹ̀jẹ̀ káàtì ẹ̀kọ́ kọ́kọ́ lọ náà káàtì ẹ̀ lọ fún bí i 10 years. Ká lọ dá wà náà. Tí ó bá dẹ̀ pé wa, ẹ̀ka dẹ̀ tún máa padà wá.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Kọ́tẹ̀ fún wa ní referendum kọ́ béèrè bí àfẹ́lò àbáàlọ́ kọ́dẹ̀ aláwọ̀ ká ṣe campaign yẹn dáadáa ká lè educate àwọn èèyàn tó ń ṣe tó máa block wa.
Àwọn èèyàn máa block everybody kọ́ máa lọ àkáàtì anybody. Ìlú yẹn ti sọ everybody. Ó ti sún wa. Ṣe Nàìjíríà mọ́ ṣé kìí ṣe kò ṣe títọ́ ní náà. Àtijọ́ tẹ́bi mo máa ń sọ àtìpátá tí wọ́n kékeré náà sọ pé ká máa gbàdúrà fún Nàìjíríà máa lówó bàjẹ́ sí àwọn tó ń jẹ ló ń jẹ. Àwọn agan tá ń gbàdúrà gan mo fẹ́ lè sọ pé àwọn tá ń gbàdúrà fún Nàìjíríà náà gan àwọn agan là ń jẹ ìyá bẹ̀. Ó wulẹ̀ bẹ́tà káyé Nàìjíríà náà wulẹ̀ bàjẹ́ pátápátá. Àtàwọn tó ń jẹ bẹ̀. Ìlú yẹn ti sún wa kọ́jẹ́ ká máa lọ àṣẹ Nàìjíríà mọ́ kọ́jẹ́ ká lọ máa ṣèdè wa. Àwọn tájọ́ ń gbédè wa ká ìjà ara wa kájọ náà máa sọ ká máa gbédè ara wa. Tá bá fẹ́ bára wa jà á dẹ̀ tún parí ẹ̀ láàrin ara wa. Àgbédè Haúsá náà ṣé mo tún fúra ń jẹ ní àbí tí wọ́n tó ń jẹ ní ọmọ ń jẹ àdẹ̀gbédè wọn. Lókè wá lọ́wọ́ dé a ní ká máa lọ kọ́ máa kọ́ jẹ́ kólúkálùkù máa lọ. Ẹ kú ètò ẹ̀wọ̀ ètò ẹ̀ bí mi ni.
Ẹ ṣe gan ni ìyá wa
afẹ́lọ́lé akọ́mọ sílẹ̀ tinúlé sí Nàìjà àlè lọlé pé ká lọ wọ àwọn ọmọ wa. Ẹ̀rù bẹ everybody àti lọlé. Ìlú wèrè.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni, thank you so much. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Ètò nìyẹn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, yeah, the reason why I use the English dictionary is because it helped me as well. Not just ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń gbọ́. Èmi náà àní knowledge ó máa kọ títí ni. So ẹ mọ̀ pé nígbà táwọn kan fascinating yìí. Èèyàn mélòó ló lè understand it, but that might break it down. Fascinating. Extreme. So, according to Katrina Lang, according to her, extremely interesting. Does fascinating mean beautiful? If you describe something as fascinating, you find it very interesting and attractive. So, according to this, our British High Commissioner, only Nigeria election ó wà interesting. Èmi wá mọ̀ bí tó wà interesting nínú election bí àbí tó ti ń já ballot ìgbà ni bí àbí tó ti ń fọ́gò mọ́yàn lórí ni bí àbí tó ti pààyàn ni I don't know. Ó dẹ̀ tún ló wà positive. Ó dà ẹja ṣe fìyẹn sílẹ̀. Àmú gbogbo ẹ̀ díẹ̀ ni mo kí ìyá mi ológun jà ó dà kí mo rí comment nísìnyí ìyá mi comfort thank you so much for joining mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin mothers wa. So, mo padà sí 18th century Ọ̀yọ́ empire. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kàbẹ̀ yẹn dáadáa. Wọ́n ní in the second half of 18th century, ṣé mọ̀ pé 19th century ni wọ́n sọ Nàìjíríà di amalgamation. Ṣé mo right? Sọ́nkì mo kí ẹ. Ṣé mọ̀ pé 18th century wọ́n ti ń prepare tó fẹ́ ṣe bó ṣe máa kó gbogbo àpapọ̀. Òun ni wàhálà táwa náà nísìn ẹ̀ ló kọ́là. Àwa ni ẹ mọ̀.
Ṣé rí nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ pé mo máa ń ro gbogbo ẹ̀ láàárọ̀. Ọlọ́pàá ẹ̀mí ti ṣe ìwọ̀n tẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ tó ṣe wọ́n á pín lérè lórí ẹ̀. Ṣé rí ìṣe pé ìlú yóò pẹ̀lẹ́? Ẹ̀tẹ̀ bá jókòó yìí náà lè tún ẹ̀tún dàgbẹ́tẹ̀ lómìnira tó lè dàgbẹ́tẹ̀. Ṣé rí bí 100% wọ́n á jẹ́ pé bóyá bí 5% lójú pé a fẹ́ lọ. Tó kọ́kọ́ bí ṣòro nìyẹn ẹ wo gbogbo àwọn yúùtù yẹn tí wọ́n jáde fún Obi ó jẹ́ pé Yorùbá nation ni wọ́n jáde ẹ kó sí agbára Nàìjíríà gbogbo ṣòwòkà.
kò pọ̀ sí wò.
tó ti yẹ yín ìyẹn kankan tó kọ́kọ́ mú ìṣòro wá nìyẹn ṣùgbọ́n inú mi dùn ayọ̀ mi kún pé wọ́n rí bòdì inú mi tún dùn pé wọ́n fẹ́ tó wọlé kó tún wọlé kọ́ lọ́ọ́ dé owó pé fún bàbá tó yẹ yín torí ẹni tó jáde school ní ó jáde yunifásitì ní èdè 25 years odidi ogún ọdún kò ríṣẹ́ ogún ọdún yẹn pẹ̀lú ọjọ́ orí ẹ̀ ó di 45 years ó ń gun ọ̀kadà kiri ó dẹ̀ sọ pé òun fẹ́ Nàìjíríà ṣé mo pé ìyá ìrìn àjò tó ń rìn yẹn ó pọ́ sí nǹkan mi ò má lè kà mí torí kòkó tó fẹ́ fẹ́ràn ní sùn. ìrìn àjò tó ń rìn yẹn ṣàlùpé ìyá tó bá jẹ́ ọmọ rẹ̀ yóò gbé tó yóò dúró. ṣòye o tí ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá jẹ́ ló ń wà nílùú òyìnbó lénìí tó wà nílùú òyìnbó tẹ́ kó rí bí ìwúlọ́kà ara ẹ̀ pé òun wà sí òyìnbó ń wá jókòó bí ọ̀kẹ́ balẹ̀ Nàìjíríà ẹgbẹ́ pé mo ní rọ́ọ̀lù mà. tí ò bá nira fún ẹ tó bá lò ó tó bá lo gbogbo ẹ̀ mọ́ra wọn mo ṣe fẹ́sì kan mo fi ọba tó ní ayé àtọ̀run ṣẹlẹ́rìí pé gbági ni mo ti ń taṣọ tí n bá ṣe design ní China nígbà tí bá máa kọjá ní ó tó dé design yẹn á ti di old design á di gbèsè sí mi lọ́rùn tó bá tún yá màá tún jẹ́ kí n ṣe lọ́kà máa lọ Ghana màá tún ṣe mọ́ra wọn mo láwọn ọmọọṣẹ́ mu ní gbogbo ẹ̀ ọjà yẹn náà tún dé á tún di gbèsè sí mi lọ́rùn màá wá yá owó màá yá báńkì màá yá gbogbo ẹ̀ nígbà tí mò ń bọ̀ wá sí rí mo ta property níbi pé tí wọ́n bá dá mi padà lẹ́nu ọ̀nà kò sí mo fẹ́ lè dé kò sí mo fẹ́ dé bá Nàìjíríà nígbà tó sú mi. ẹ̀yin ó dẹ̀ rí èyàn bẹ́yẹn náà tó wà nínú òyìnbó tẹ́ pé ìṣòro náà ló kó náà dé bẹ́ẹ̀ bí ẹni tó jẹ́ pé bóyá gbèsè báńkì ló lè tẹ wá sí ìlú òyìnbó wọ́n jẹ́ pé yẹn máa ọlọ́wọ́ pẹ́ ní orí ọ̀fẹ́ bóyá oníwèé ìgbẹ́rù inú ẹ̀ wá ń dùn ó wá ní ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ ó wá ń gbàdúrà fún Nàìjíríà tẹ́lí pé ìkànnì náà ìdábẹ́ yẹn tọ́lọ́ mọ̀ pé ìwọ tó wà ní Nàìjíríà yẹn ti di ìlú Èkó tí ọlọ́pàá ti kọ̀yìn sí àwọn tẹ́ bá rí tó ń jẹ nínú ẹ̀ àwọn tó ń jẹ ẹ̀jẹ̀ tí wọ́n ń mu ẹ̀jẹ̀ tí wọ́n jẹ́ ọ̀dájú ẹ̀rí àwọn fẹsẹ̀ náà gbà kó já wọn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ìyàwó ti rí gbà tó ti yẹn ẹni tó máa ń gbà wọ́n Nàìjíríà gangan ẹ sọ fún pé ìkà ni nínú ọkẹ̀ yíyá kó jẹ́ pé kò fẹ́ nǹkan méjì ló ṣẹlẹ̀ ó yẹ nínú ọkàn rẹ̀ kò fẹ́ kí ẹ̀rọ báwọn tó máa ń gbóyàn ní pé kí wọ́n ṣe big man àbí bàbá rere bàbá tẹ̀ ẹ̀rọ tó kẹ́ ní sálẹ̀ ní ẹ̀kọ́ tó máa wọ Facebook ẹ̀yìnlí ó máa sọ fún Nàìjíríà ó kú ọ̀tọ́ náà ayé Nàìjíríà ti bẹ̀jẹ̀ ó lè bàbá arúgbó tó máa fún ọ kó o lè fi wọn ṣe ọ̀gá kó o lè máa ṣe òkè rere bàbá kẹ̀ nítorí ọkàn ẹ̀rọ mi kì í ṣe fún láti Nàìjíríà ṣùgbọ́n torí pé kò fẹ́ kí wọn kò dé èèyàn kò fẹ́ kí wọ́n dìde láti fà ó sọ̀pọ̀tì Nàìjíríà tó ń pẹ́ nípa wọnú òsì ẹ tó wà Nàìjíríà tí ẹ bá ṣe pé bóyá òun ṣe iṣẹ́ tí ò dáa lápẹ́ iṣẹ́ pé òun tajà ni òun tó fẹ́ jókòó látàárọ̀ tó bá wà fẹ́ níwà tẹ́ bá lọ sínú ọjà gbági ní àwọn kùtù ẹ máa rí àwọn ìyá yẹn wá bí ọmọ tuntun wá rí mọ́lẹ̀ àwọn yẹn lè máa lérò nínú ṣọ́ọ̀bù wọn. ẹ dákun ẹ máa rí kí wọ́n pè ná oríṣiríṣi nǹkan burúkú ẹ wà ní wọn gun mọ́tò ńláńlá tó bá da lẹ́wọ́ ń sunkún torí kó máa gbà nǹkan lọ́wọ́ wọn tó máa gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn. àwọn tẹ bá wá pé tọ́ọ̀tì nìkan wọ́n lọ ẹ má jẹ tẹ̀yẹ omi inú omi àdó àwọn ògbé dání èèyàn mẹ́ta ni mo bá wọn rajà sílẹ̀. ṣó ti yẹ yín ṣé mo máa ń gbọ́ pọ̀ sí Nàìjíríà ẹ̀yin àwọn olórí ẹ̀yìn ni ẹ̀yin kò kàn bó bá tún tẹ̀ bóyá tó bá dọ̀tí alẹ́ ọlọ́run jẹ̀fẹ́ ìjàgbá tẹ̀ dùkú iṣẹ́ tẹ̀ ń ṣe ìgbà náà nínú yóò ṣẹ̀ máa gò pé mo dúpẹ́ pé ọlọ́run náà ni mo jẹ́ sẹ́yìn. inú mi dúpẹ́ bàbá Tinubu wọlé ìtọ́wà challenges wọn nítorí tí wọn bá rí Nàìjíríà dínkù ọdún mẹ́rin torí mo fún ọ lóṣòwò ọdún kan ni mo fún ọ báyìí pé gbogbo àwọn tó tẹ̀lé lóṣòwò gbogbo àwọn tá a jẹ́ ṣe gbogbo àlẹ́ èyí tí bá dúró ìtẹ̀lé ní báyìí campaign ni ẹ̀yin nìkan àti mo orúkọ gbogbo ẹ̀kọ́ náà bá ṣe nítorí mi tán máa dárúkọ ẹ̀ orúkọ ẹ̀ ṣe burúkú ṣeré ni ó máa ń tẹ̀ ṣubú ni ó dàbí ọ̀tá méjì tẹ̀ tó tẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo àwọn èèyàn báyìí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí campaign fún ní Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n lé ní ìsìn báyìí tí wọ́n bá wá ní Nàìjíríà tí tẹ̀sí àkúńjà àwọn èèyàn táwọn èèyàn sọ oúnjẹ ẹgbẹ́ pé wọ́n wà sí èmi máa pẹ́ Yorùbá nation máa jáde lágbára Ọlọ́run ibi tó máa gbà jáde
bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
nípa kọ́yìntì mo kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ nìkan ní fún yín mo mọ̀ pé mo nú mi dùn pé ẹ̀yin náà ti dára yín ni ẹgbẹ́ ìnẹ́fà kò sí ẹni kankan nínú Yorùbá nation tẹ́lẹ̀ sọ pé eléyìí mo tún wọn ẹ̀kún ní gbogbo ọmọ bí wọ́n ṣe wà yẹn Mo máa ń sọ dáadáa yẹn lọ́wọ́ wọn. Mo ṣe pásítọ̀ mo ṣe ilẹ̀ pé wọ́n jẹ́ gbogbo ọjọ́ Sunday Igboho lára. Nípa tí ò bá rí pé ọmọ Nàìjíríà ọmọ Yorùbá díje tó wọ́n gbàgbẹ́ kó wó sí wọ́n dẹ̀ máa gbòó síwájú. Torí kò ní wọ́n fẹ́ dì kó president wọ́n fẹ́ dì ẹ̀wọ̀n wa látàrí tí wọ́n kó síta. Ṣé Igboho nìkan ló kojú ní Nàìjíríà ni? Yóò bá ti sọ́pọ̀tì àwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n lágbára. Ẹ̀wọ̀n pàtó ní kí wọ́n jáde àwọn ọba kọkẹ balẹ̀ nígbà tó wọ́n náà máa tẹ̀lé owó ìbò ní wọn mọ́. Ọmọ yẹn ti tẹ̀lé ìsìn àwa lókùn tá a máa lọ bẹ̀ẹ́ tá a máa gbèsè padà ó fi dìde ó ti ṣe tó tọ́lọ̀ rẹ̀ ó ti lu egun yẹn ẹ̀kọ́ ìdíje wọ́n náà wò ó dìde ó jẹ́ kí wọ́n ní wá sílẹ̀ tó bá nìyá ìjà kan látàwọn nílùú òyìnbó náà torí tó bá wá sílẹ̀ báyìí ní ìsìn wọ́n mọ̀ fẹ́ kí wọ́n mọ̀ jọ pé lọ ni. Mo lọ sí Ìjẹ̀bú last week tí mo wá sílẹ̀ mo rí tí wọ́n pààyàn tó tó títì láìpà ni mo gbọ́n ní bí ọmọ kékeré mo ní ó tọ̀ padà ó gbọ́n mi ẹ̀kọ́ ẹ̀ka ni mo fi padà wọ kẹ́yìn kò tí ní kú pẹ̀lú èdè bí ó bá gbé for 60 years. Ẹ̀jú wọ́n sílẹ̀ ìyẹn wọ́n ṣe bí wọ́n yẹn máa ṣe tẹ́yẹ tí mo bá dìde tó bàbá ti pín ní ìbò wọ́n máa dìde àwọn ọmọ tí ń jà fún náà ni wọ́n tẹ̀lé lóṣèlú kiri yẹn bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá wa, thank you so much. Mo kí i dáadáa, máa ń gbádùn kọ́ọ̀lù ìyá mi dáadáa. Ìyàn kan tẹ̀ náà fi connect pẹ̀lú wọn. Ẹ kàn sí mi, àmọ́ bá ṣe máa gbé kalẹ̀. Mo wá kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Ẹ má bínú sí mi, ẹ mà pẹ́ mi làbúrò yín. Ṣẹ́rí torí tọrọ àwọn tàwọn tí Ìgbò yẹn, ẹ má ẹ̀kọ́ jíjà láàrin èmi àti yín. Ṣẹ́rí focus tàwa, ẹ ṣáàjẹ́ káwa máa hámà àwọn Haúsá àti Yorùbá politician. Ṣẹ́rí ti àárín ti àwọn Ìgbò yẹn, ó ní tí àwọn CSI àti bàbá Akíntóyè rí. Bí a ṣe sọ, ṣé Ìgbòho nìkan ni kó jáde kó kan àwọn sójà tó pọ̀ yẹn nígbà tí millions of Yorùbá people ṣì fẹ́ vote Tinubu and we cannot stop them. Mo dẹ̀ máa ń sọ pé ẹ lè expect pé ká kó bọn síta ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pa àwọn èèyàn wa. Iṣẹ́ ta gbé kọ́ dẹ́kọ́ nìyẹn. A fẹ́ kọ́ join Yorùbá nation. Bó ṣe wù mí lọ́kàn ni pé tó bá jẹ́ mi ò nìkan bí mo ṣe pé mo tẹ̀lé Ìgbòho àti bàbá Akíntóyè màá mọ tí máa ṣe tó bá yẹ pé láti da Nàìjíríà rò lórí election yẹn. But nígbà tó rẹ̀ ti di pé kò ṣe èmi nìkan ni mò ń ṣe so ó sì èyí bẹ́ẹ̀ nísìn ẹja gbọ́ ìyàwó ẹ̀ mò ń bọ̀. Mo kí ìyàwó Adésànyà Elizabeth bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí àtòbìnrin lọ́mọ mo ti rí lógbò wọn. Mo wá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ̀yin àbúrò mi ẹ̀yin dókítà ẹ̀yin tẹ níṣẹ́ tó da lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ẹni ẹ̀fẹ́ support Yorùbá nation no problem ẹ ṣáà make sure pé ẹ̀rọ alẹ́ sí Amẹ́ríkà ẹ̀rọ sí Canada ẹ̀rọ káàkiri ẹ̀ dẹ̀ fi tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ but àwọn tó wà ń lé ńkọ́ ṣá máa gbàgbé wọn ni ẹ ló kọ́là.
Yeah, how are you, Mr. Kweti?
Àlàáfíà sà.
Ẹ káàárọ̀.
Àlàáfíà.
Ẹ jọ mo fẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ kan mo ní mo fẹ́ sọ.
À ń gbọ́ yín.
Okay. Ààrẹ ẹni pé ní ìmọ̀ bóyá Yorùbá nation ti lose hearing yẹn.
Okay.
Because ó dàbí pé wọ́n ti dabble into politics.
Losing their bearing. Ìbò ńlá lẹ gbé kalẹ̀ yí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi.
Ìyẹn ló dà wọ́n ti dabble into politics. So the reason mo fi sọ pé wọ́n ti dabble into politics ni pé ní election tó kọjá yìí.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
I was so shocked that many of the Yoruba campaigners wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí vote fún APC. Mo ní what? Since that day I lost interest in Yoruba nation. Mo ní why wọ́n ní nítorí pé àwọn èèyàn fẹ́ gba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo ní that is a very big lie. Mo ní big lie because àwọn ọmọ Igbo there was no place wọ́n ti jókòó wọ́n ti decide wọ́n fẹ́ gba ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. It was an imagination of
ẹ má bínú pé mo kọ́ tí ń ẹ̀gbọ́n mi má bínú ẹ̀jọ̀ tó lọ́wọ́. Àwọn nítorí Gbádébọ̀ gangan kálàmọ́lẹ̀ wọ́n nítorí Gbádébọ̀ wọ́n ní àjẹ́ndà Gbádébọ̀ ni pé ó máa gba ìkó mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́ so ká má tún máa try láti protect àárín yẹn wọ́n nítorí Gbádébọ̀ ni kò sí nǹkan méjì torí Gbádébọ̀ ni.
Irọ́ náà pàṣà.
Ok, mo gbọ́ yín sá.
Irọ́ náà pa kì í ṣe torí Gbádébọ̀. Gbádébọ̀ ìṣe Yorùbá ìṣe Yorùbá person. Ìṣe Yorùbá man. Ìgbà tí Agbájé gbé Agodi nígbà yẹn kò sí kan tó ń ka sí kéde ọmọ Ìgbò ni. Wọ́n ní òṣèlú kan tó ń sọ tán. So must it be one person in Yoruba land we have to be very careful in all this because we are kind of Yoruba nation that to see we are not because our time that it is because there was a time that we do rally together with the Biafra. What the PDC was castigating, and when it was not the question, Mr. Koiki, let me tell you, the truth is that in your confirmed preserve oúnjẹ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ni ọgbọ́n pé tẹ́ kó bá lọ́wọ́ that is the end of him. That is the end of him. I'm telling you the fact. You can take this one to the bank. So we should not take, because I was watching with the Yetara yesterday. I was so disappointed. Bringing one woman, I want that to intervene and that is suffer on Yoruba, all of the people. So Yoruba nation, only voters card, not on the people. How can you do saying all this kind of a thing? Okay.
Now that election is done, we will see how people will project it back again. That's all.
Is Gbadebo not a Yoruba man?
Well, there's.
Okay, listen. If I have my brother to be a Igbo, I'm going to tell Yoruba. I'll say, Martin, I'm not a Yoruba person.
Okay. Thank you so much. We will never, get out of the what happened prior to the election. But I can feel yesterday, Oyo was a very strong in the 18th century. I can padà sórí history wa tí wọ́n gbà kúrò lọ́wọ́ wa. Kí ló lead sí a powerful Ọ̀yọ́ empire? Ṣé àwọn tó wọnú àárín wa níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn àwọn ni wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí gbé intrigues àti lọ́wọ́ meaning intrigues àti wá meaning ẹ̀ jáde. Intrigue. Curiosity, interest, fascinating. Nígbà tí mo gbọ́ fascinating ni wọ́n ní àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Katrina Lang náà ti rí ẹ̀jẹ̀ káwọ́ báwọn èèyàn ṣe ń lò. What does it mean when someone intrigues you? To make someone want to know more about something. To become interested, your ideal intrigue. I'm going like ideal me. Well, thank you so much, Delight Barbie Ward. I'm going like utterances. Me when utterances are too violent. I don't like it, but or to man so bija. You then okay, any man like him, but the matter to move on that the club. But if we can fire on any sin, we were behind the Palace School failed military campaign. Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jẹ́ kí Ọ̀yọ́ empire máa weak. Ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jẹ́ kí Ọ̀yọ́ empire máa weak. Àwọn wo ló wà behind there? Ṣé àwọn Ìgbò ní níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn? Ṣé Hausa ni? Ṣé Yorùbá ni? Ṣé àwọn Western world ni? Kí ni wọ́n ti rí tó fi di pé wọ́n ò fi jẹ́ kí Ọ̀yọ́ empire wà títí di wákàtí? Mo fẹ́ kí yẹn máa ró nínú olúkálùkù wa. Kí ni wọ́n rí tí wọ́n wò níjọ́ náà ṣe mọ̀ pé a ti ń bọ̀ láti 17th century ẹ mọ̀ pé ní ìwé mo sọ pé during the 17th century Ọ̀yọ́ began a long stretch of growth tó bá sọ pé kan growth ìdàgbàsókè wá we become very powerful ẹ má bínú pé ti Katrina Lang yẹn ó ń block ẹ jẹ́ kí n move ẹ ó ń block view yẹn ẹ jẹ́ kí n move Katrina Lang sí the other side Katrina baby wọ bye Katrina baby. Katrina tiwa ó dẹ̀ máa lọ nísìn. So mo fẹ́ kájọ gbéyẹ̀wò pé 19th century ni òyìnbó merge wa together. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n béèrè lọ́wọ́ ìdájọ́ wa lọ. Nígbà wo làwọn òyìnbó dé sọ́dọ̀ wa? Century wo ló dé sọ́dọ̀ wa náà? Ṣé because mo fẹ́ fi merge ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń bá bọ̀ yìí? Because if Ọ̀yọ́ has been growing during the 17th century, nígbà wo làwọn òyìnbó dé sọ́dọ̀ wa? Ẹ jẹ́ àṣetò ọ̀rọ̀ Gbádébọ̀ yẹn sílẹ̀ máa ń kó divert attention wa. Because ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ yìí òun ló máa ṣẹ́rí gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ ti Gbádébọ̀ nǹkan ọkùnrin àti APC yẹn. Tá a bá ti lè yanjú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ báyìí, ẹlòmíì ò gbọ́rọ̀ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ báyìí kò understand it. Ní century wo làwọn òyìnbó dé sọ́dọ̀ wa? Century wo ló dé? Because tá a bá mọ century tó dé la máa fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí multiply a pẹ̀lú b tá a máa mọ̀ pé c ló fẹ́ fún wa. ká má mọ̀ pé 1+1 because it was after their arrival ni wọ́n destroy century wa ni wọ́n destroy ìdọ́ba because wọ́n rí nǹkan kan nígbà tó dé ìtọ́rí yẹn wà very strong sophisticated òun làwọn ń lò lẹ́ẹ̀mí níbí báyìí òun là ń rí gbogbo space kìíní ìta ń rí níbí báyìí. No century 17 we are since 14th century no get nǹkan tó ń sọ ìgbà wo làwọn òyìnbó dé ni mo sọ nígbà wo lọ dé. I'm not saying we are been around from 17th century nígbà wo lòyìnbó dé wá bá wa because àwọn tó dé wá bá wa wọ́n bá wa dáadáa but àwọn ń lọ faster than ìgbà tí wọ́n ń jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé nígbà kan Ọ̀yọ́ empire was growing very fast. Intrigued by interesting ways to compel people into things. Nígbà wo ló dé? So nígbà tó dé whatever time tó dé wọ́n dé bá wa dáadáa because òyìnbó ò lè sọ pé nígbà táwọn dé ni Ọ̀yọ́ empire ń grow. Ọ̀yọ́ empire has been growing. But the question we should ask ourselves then is, kí ló wá ṣẹlẹ̀ ní 18th century that we started losing the plot? What happened? That means some people came and penetrated into our system and destroyed that system for their own selfish gain. And that is exactly what is still happening. They arrived from Benin Kingdom in 15th century. So that means they came down from 15th century during the slave trade. Okay. So if Tobadeli 15th century, after 2 years, or 2 years ago, after 2 decades, because every decade is 10 years, right? So in 20 years, 1 decade is 10 years. So I'm right. Now in 2 decades, 10 years in 1 decade. So as at the time tí àwọn òyìnbó dé wọ́n bá ìran wa dáadáa but in tó wá ṣẹlẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n destroy ìran yẹn nítorí pé kò jẹ́ ká máa gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ kù tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní palace. Ẹgbọ́n òsókè ẹni tó ń pè wá. Hello. Àgbọ̀n kankan rárá gbogbo ẹ̀ ń ṣe fún pápápá ní ẹ̀gbẹ́ àgbọ̀yò ẹ̀ lọ tó ń pè wá. Hello, one more time.
Hello, Ṣàǹgbọ́.
Kí lẹ ẹ connect kankan tẹ́lẹ̀ ni gbogbo ẹnu ṣanṣanṣan lábẹ́ ẹ ṣe wọ space ni.
Ẹ kú Ṣàǹgbọ́.
Èmi ni ẹ.
Mi ò lọ́rọ̀ púpọ̀ láti sọ ti yẹ.
Àgbọ̀ ìṣà.
Mo kàn fẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn tó ń gbọ́ ọgbọ́ dáadáa.
Okay.
Ògún, Ṣàngó, Ọya, gbogbo àwọn alálẹ̀ Yorùbá ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pa gbogbo àwọn tó believe in democracy pẹ̀lú gbogbo ọ̀dàlẹ̀ Yorùbá náà. Ògún, Ṣàngó, Ọya, gbogbo alálẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá ló máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pa àwọn òní kọ̀ọ̀kan. Because ìjà tó wà lẹ̀ kò ń ṣèjà wa mọ́ lórí àwa ọmọ àfihàn ni wá. Ṣé ẹ gbọ́?
Mo gbọ́ yín sà.
Ìdílé la máa fi jà, wọn la máa fi jà ìjà yìí. Tí ó ti yé.
Àgbọ̀ yín sà.
Ògún láti sìn lọ ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀sìn máa tún kúrú kálukú. Èdè inú wọn ní kó máa fi máa bá wọn jà sí. Ìjọba tọ́ba náà ò fẹ́ gbọ́. Àwa náà dúró dé wọn. Àdúró dé wọn. Kọ́ máa wọrí. Ó ti yé yín. Ẹ ṣe kan.
Bàbá ìbínú tán. Ẹlòmíì kankan ń dùn wọ́n nígbà àyà pé báwo ni ìran wa ṣe wá lọ bí ọlọ́ta báyìí. Mo rántí bàbá Fàdílà ní phase 2 àwọn máa ń lọta àwọn ata ẹlẹ́rọ yẹn àwọn gbogbogbogbogbogbogbò tó bá ti múná lọ wàá sì lọta lọ́dọ̀ ṣé bàbá Fàdílà n ṣe àrùn torúkọ mo ṣáà pé bàbá kìíní kan ló ń jẹ we take the next caller quickly. Hello caller.
Yes, ẹ mọ̀ nǹkan.
Mo ń gbọ́ yín sà.
Mo rí ìtọ̀tọ̀ jẹ́ ní kó bá ṣe ń bímọ sílùú yìí sìn. Yẹ pé à ń bímọ ọkùnrin à ń bímọ obìnrin.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni sà.
Generation kan máa wá tó jẹ́ wípé àwọn ọmọ yẹn àgàgà èyí tó bá jóbìnrin they might not be able to trace them to African anymore, to Nigerian anymore. Generation kan máa wá tó jẹ́ pé inú kan mi ń ṣe bó ṣáàtì fún ṣáàtì kankan ni o. Èyí tó bá jọkùnrin nínú wọn ó generation àwọn ọmọ tàbá bí ó lè decide pé òun ò jẹ́ family name yẹn mọ́ ó fẹ́ lo orúkọ rẹ̀ as surname fáwọn ọmọ ẹ̀. Now gbogbo wa náà láti wo fíìmù Kutakunte tó fi kó àwọn dúdú lẹ́rú. Now ṣé bí ẹ bá wo orúkọ ọ̀pọ̀ Gbádébọ̀ yẹn tẹ bá wo surname ẹ̀ ẹni pé kò sí Yorùbá nínú surname ẹ̀. So definitely wọ́n ti àwọn òyìnbó tí wọ́n kó lẹ́rú tí àwọn dúdú táwọn òyìnbó kó lẹ́rú tí wọ́n ti já sílẹ̀ ní orí ilẹ̀ Lagos State tí wọ́n ti fẹ́ Yorùbá wọ́n ti wọnú ara wọn generation to generation ti kọjá káàdì ẹ̀ ní trace. Then kí ló wá fẹ́ sọ wípé Gbádébọ̀ ò ń ṣe Yorùbá mọ́. It's just because torí pé wọ́n decide láti má change family name wọn tó bá change family name wọn sí Yorùbá àní gbọ́ Ronvairo yẹn nínú surname ẹ̀ mọ́. Àwọn gbégbégbé kìíní ẹ̀ ti fẹ́ wọ́n ti fẹ́ Yorùbá tí wọ́n bá lórí ilẹ̀ yẹn ó ti yí mọ́ra wọn generation yẹn àkọlé trace ẹ̀ ni ó ti pẹ́ tó báwo la ṣe wọn máa sọ pé irú ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ tó jáde láti inú irú ìdílé yẹn kì í ṣọmọ state yẹn mọ́ nítorí òṣèlú. But àwọn tó tiẹ̀ wá ń sọ báyìí ṣe é báwọn èkó wọn ní kinní kan wọ́n máa ń ṣe kinní kan tó yẹ pé which is very bad ó yẹ ká stop ẹ̀. Àwọn ará Èkó wọ́n máa ń sọ fún Yorùbá tó bá wá láti Ọ̀ṣun Ìbàdàn àwọn state wọn á ti máa sọ fún tó bá ti gbọ́ pé èdè Yorùbá tó sọ wọ́n máa ní ìlà wà nínú Yorùbá tó sọ pé Yorùbá tó sọ ó ń kọlà pé so ò ní right láti wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ó máa lọ sílùú ẹ̀. Báwo la ṣe máa bá ìgbòho orúkọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn? Àwọn ọmọ Èkó máa ń sọ fún Yorùbá gbọ́ngàn tó wá láti other state ní ìgbé òun sọmọ Èkó. Tó kò padà síbi tó ti ń bọ̀. Tí wọ́n yẹ ká máa bá ìgbòho orú èdè bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ máa deny Yorùbá gangan náà ní orílẹ̀-èdè Lagos State. Bí a torí pé kò sọ mídẹ̀mídẹ̀ kò sọ àwọn dialect Lagos State.
Ẹ jẹ́ àtẹ̀síwájú àti gbọ́ ẹ ṣé gan ẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Thank you so much. We can never complete. The politicians have done their best. Interfere náà nìyẹn. But focus tiwa ni pé Yorùbá nation mo like the colour tó pé tán before ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tí nìyí. Ìyẹn wọ́n ní Ògún Ṣàngó Ọya. Ògún Ṣàngó Ọya bí wọn bá ń gbọ́ àwọn nǹkan báyìí wá o ẹni bá mọ̀ ló mọ̀ òun ló máa bá wa jà fún gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń jẹ́ kí ayé ọmọ Yorùbá máa ní bó ṣe rí. Ẹ jẹ́ sáré gbọ́ ìyá wa yìí torí pé bí ṣe sọ mo fẹ́ kó ju 3 hours lọ because mo ṣe ń padà bọ̀ létà tàbádẹ̀ ti pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́ àní ní interlude break so mo fẹ́ kí gbogbo wa ká lọ rest dáadáa ká tó wá padà wá. Ẹ jẹ́ gbọ́ ìyá wa yìí màá dìde lórí seat mi wá àti bá ń play mo fẹ́ fi Katrina Lange sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kó lè máa kí àyìn náà lè wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ Katrina bẹ́ẹ̀ so yẹn your picture tèmi fídíò mi. Once again, OBS ni software tí máa fi ń broadcast. In case you are just wondering, there's nothing spectacular. Everything tiwa is a software, not any software. So screen méjì lèyìn ní lọ́dọ̀ tèmi nínú laptop ní báyìí. But lọ́dọ̀ tí ẹyọkan lẹ́yìn rí, èmi máa ń prepare kan tí bá ti prepare tán máa send the transition yẹn òun lè máa rí lára technology náà nìyẹn ká dúpẹ́ fún ibi tí technology délé ni. Tá a bá rí gbogbo eléyìí lò kódà ìta ń bá politician fà àní lè bá wọn fà délẹ̀. Let's listen to this our mother my mic will be muted.
Orúkọ mi orúkọ bàbá mi Ọ̀kínbálóyè ẹgbẹ́ ọba Arégòkè mo dé láti gbòòrò bíi around 8 mo wọnú ilé mo tẹ́bẹ̀ mo bọ́ gbogbo aṣọ mi wá kú pátá àti sí mi ní mo wá wo ibẹ̀ tó máa gbé tó adábẹ́ kan bí tó náà ọkùnrin wá dé láti gbogbo ní kán sílẹ̀kùn fóun so ọmọ dáàbì mi Adétutù Ọ̀kínbálóyè ó wà lọ́wọ́ mi mo wá ní kí yẹn lọ sí ilẹ̀kùn bí yẹn ṣe sílẹ̀kùn ọkọ mi wá pọnú kí ṣe oníṣègùn tó ń jẹ ní mi ìdáná kò sówó kankan lọ́wọ́ mi tí máa fi ìdáná ọkọ mi ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pariwo oúnjẹ kò wá tilẹ̀kùn so èmi wá jáde síta sẹ́ẹ̀tì mi tí mo gbé sórí tébù mú pálọ̀ mi mo wá lọ mú sẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn bí mo kàn ṣe mú sẹ́ẹ̀tì yẹn mo kàn rí àwọn pípò yẹn àwọn méje ń wọlé ó dàbẹ́ ni pé àwọn mẹ́rin gbé ìbọn dání àwọn mẹ́ta ò ní ìbọn wọn ní àdá wọ́n wá sọ pé wọ́n bẹ̀ sí Haúsá sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ní Subaha Fúlàní bá wọ́n ní Su kidnapper ni wọ́n láwọn kì í ṣe Fúlàní pé kidnapper làwọn wọ́n ní kí n gbé owó wá mo wá fi Haúsá dáhùn pé báńdé kudi wọ́n ní àpò ìkudi wọ́n ní báńdé kudi wọ́n kí n gbó wá wọ́n ní mi ìlú tó bí kan ṣe gbá ìbọn mọ́ mi láyà ìkan tẹ̀lé ọkọ̀ mi pé ọkọ̀ mi ó lọ. ọ̀gá bàbá ló kọ́ mi ìwúlẹ̀ méjì mo tún dé ojú ọ̀nà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo ṣe ń pariwo àdúgbò ẹjọ́ o àwọn Fúlàní ti ká mi mọ́ o ẹjọ́ wọ́n ti pa mí wọ́n ti pa ọmọ mi o kò sẹ́ni tó dá anybody mo pariwo ìgbà tí mo tún dójú títì mo wá ṣubú ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ mo kọ́ fẹ́ǹsì sí.
jáde yín kọ́ hàn.
ọkọ mi bí ọkọ mi ṣe jáde yẹn wọ́n wá lọ kí aṣọ tó wọ̀ ọkọ mi wá olóhùn wá ó ti ṣàlàyé olóhùn wá bó aṣọ yẹn fún wa wá tí ó wá tìkún ó ṣe ti yẹn ṣùgbọ́n wá gba ẹgbẹ́ lẹ́mi tó gbà ní ìkọ́ wá ní ìbọn yìí wá lọ bá ilé kejì tó wà ní ẹgbẹ́ lẹ́mi ọkọ mi wá ságbá ẹgbẹ́ lẹ́mi pàṣẹ lọ mú gbòòrò sí ọmọ mi tó wà lọ́dọ̀ mi a ní ilẹ̀kùn kíṣì sí ẹgbẹ́ sáìdọ̀ ìyẹn wá gbà tó ti pariwo ti pọ̀ ìyẹn wà ní ilé kò sọ̀rọ̀ dákẹ́ wọ́n ṣe ń pa ẹ̀mí àti kejì tó ṣẹlẹ̀ fọ́kàn ìyẹn wá sílẹ̀kùn mi wá gba ẹgbẹ́ rẹ̀ ó wá gba inú ìyẹn ló wá sá lọ sí ìgboro wọ́n abẹ̀ sí ní pariwo fẹ́ jọ òun ọmọ àlàbá ọtí pé màmá wo ọ̀ràn Fúlàní ó ti tó lé wọn ọ̀yẹ́ ọkọ̀ bá ọtí pé màmá ọmọ yẹn ló wá abẹ̀ sí ní pariwo tó bọ́n ṣe gbé mi dé wọ́n gbé mi lọ sẹ́ńtà ọ̀dọ̀ wa ibi tí mo ti ṣiṣẹ́ wọn ní àwọn ọ̀tọ̀ oníkàlùkù ti sá gbogbo àwọn tó lọ́mọ ládùúgbò oníkàlùkù ti kọ́ ọmọ wọn ti mo rí gbogbo wọn bọ́n ṣe rọ̀ṣù mi lọ ṣàwá lọ sí sẹ́ńtà àgbàgbà abẹ́ni kọ̀ọ̀kan bẹ̀ ni bàbá ọkọ̀ màlátò àti ọmọ mi kan wá gbé mi sínú
and that is what our loved ones back home have to endure. Kọ́lọ́mbà fún màmá wa ní the heart to take what has happened to her. This happened in Ondo State from the information that I got. The video was sent to me. The video is now in circulation on different social media platforms. Ejagba, Holly, before we start bringing the program to an end. Hello, caller.
God bless you this afternoon. You see, what you might be like your joy, Mama mix Yoruba àti English mi papọ̀. Káwọn Yorùbá lè mọ̀ pé adopted Yoruba son gangan níbí. Sórí, wàá ti máa rí orúkọ mi láti ọjọ́ yìí Frank Abiola. Orúkọ mi ni méjèèjì. Ẹ̀dọ́ gangan ni dáàdì mi ti wá. Mọ́mì mi ló wá láti Ògbómọ̀ṣọ́. Along the line, dáàdì mi fún mi lórúkọ Ẹ̀dọ́. Mọ́mì mi fún mi lórúkọ Yorùbá. Tó bá fẹ́ pè mí, tó bá jẹ́ àwọn ẹbí mọ́mì mi ló fẹ́ pè mí, wá pè mí lórúkọ Yorùbá. Tó bá jẹ́ àwọn ẹbí dáàdì mi ló fẹ́ pè mí, wá pè mí lórúkọ Ẹ̀dọ́. Tí dáàdì àti mọ́mì mi àti immediate family bá fẹ́ pè mí, wá pè mí lórúkọ English. Along the line, kí ni mo fẹ́ fàyọ? Many of our Yoruba sons and daughters àti wọ extinction and àwọn British náà ló fà á. Frank tí mo adopt lónìí, dáàdì mi ló fún mi. But I choose, nígbà tí mo dàgbà bọ̀, I'm 50 now. I choose for people to call me Frank. Torí pé òun ló wà beautiful ju Sarah tí bàbá mi fún mi lọ. Ju Abiola tí Abímbọ́lá tí family ni mọ́mì mi fún mi. So to cut a long story short, along the line, orúkọ tó wà lójú passport mi dọ̀la, orúkọ tí mo fi lọ sí school, orúkọ tí mo fi lọ uni, tí mo fi ṣe everything, kò sí orúkọ Ẹ̀dọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. And in my soul, àìsígbó Adéọ̀yọ́ tuntun ni wọ́n bí mi sí nìbàdàn. So ibo ni mo ń claim? Ọ̀yọ́ state Ìbàdàn ni mo ń claim o. All throughout my life. My daddy is 94 years. Nígbà tí mo rí wọn ní January ọdún yìí, wọ́n ìdá iṣu yẹn kalẹ̀ pé ọmọ mi. Wọ́n dúdú wà nation tó ń jà fún wa àti Biafra tó fi pariwo. Jọ Ẹdó ni ẹ̀. Ó ní but I don't feel I'm a no person. Wọ́n ò ṣe mí. In the early stage of my life, àwọn family dáàdì mi, wọ́n ní mọ́mì mi ló ń brainwash mi. Wọ́n fẹ́ jí ọmọ àwọn. Mi ò parọ́ o, ó dájà lẹ́ o. Wọ́n lé mọ́mì mi kúrò lé. But faith still brought them together again. Sometimes 2 years, 3 years. Tí dáàdì mi bá ti wá wàhálà, give me excuse. Wọ́n á ní mọ́mì mi fẹ́ jí àwọn ọmọ àwọn. But look at me today. Gbogbo yòórù pé Yorùbá ni mí. Wọ́n kì í lè ṣe pé wọ́n rò. Yorùbá ni mí. Ẹni tó bá máa wá yọ mí kúrò kó wá yọ mí kúrò ká máa wù ú. That is where I choose. Ilé tí mo kọ́ Ìbàdàn mo kọ́ sí. The only thing tó máa ń gbé mi lọ sẹ́dọ̀ ni pé dádì mi ti kúrò ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Wọ́n ti padà sẹ́dọ̀. Wọ́n dẹ̀ mú ìyàwó wọn dání tó jẹ́ mọ́mì mi. Àwọn ni mo máa lọ kí. Ṣé wá rí éjẹ̀dì Gbádébọ̀ yìí? Ọlọ́run ló máa ṣàánú fún Yorùbá o. Kì í ṣe ìsìn o. Mo wà bí ọmọ ọdún 10 kí n má exaggerate. Tí mo ti máa ń gbọ́ mọ́mì mi, àwọn fámìlì mọ́mì mi. Wọ́n ní ọmọ Yíbò, òun ni wọ́n máa ń pè mí. Òun ni wọ́n máa ń pè gbogbo ọmọ dáàbì. Ọmọ Yíbò, ọmọ Nyámírí, ọmọ Kòbòkóbò, ọmọ Agẹ̀yàn. Wọ́n ò fi ṣe ti ìjà o. Wọ́n máa ń fi bá wa ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ ní. Oríkì tó máa ń pè mí àwọn ọmọ dáàbì mi láti fámìlì dáàbì mi. Wọ́n máa ń fámìlì mọ́mì mi. Wọ́n máa ń sọ lójú dáàbì mi náà o. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ìgbò, ọmọ Nyámírí, ọmọ Kòbòkóbò, ọmọ Agẹ̀yàn. But ní ti Gbádébọ̀ yìí ni mo ti wá ní pé wọ́n ti gbé lọ an extra mile. Ọlọ́run ló máa ṣàánú fún Yorùbá nation tó bá dé. Torí àwọn tó ń generate all this type of bigotry. Ṣé wọ́n kó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pa àwa tá a rí adopt Yorùbá ni? Àṣẹ yìí, èmi ò wá sílẹ̀ Yorùbá wá jọba. Mi ò wá ṣe gómìnà tèmi. Mo kàn láìkí pé ìran Yorùbá wù mí. Mọ́mì mi Yorùbá dẹ̀ ni. Yorùbá ni mo choose not because of my mommy. Torí pé ibẹ̀ wọ́n bí mi sí. Àwọn ọmọ mi tí mo bí sí Britain lónìí. Gbogbo wọn claim me British. So èmi tó wá bí sí Ìbàdàn. Mi ò gbọ́dọ̀ claim Ìbàdàn. But àwọn ọmọ tèmi tó jẹ́ Nigerian. Tó o bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ pé where are you from? I'm British. Mo máa ti pé mo wẹ̀ pé ṣe British. Yorùbá ni yín. One love, ẹ máa bẹ́ tó lọ.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. There will be a lot in the future as things is going to be. 3 hours is right on the dot, 5 minutes past. And like I said, I don't want it to go more than 3 hours. I'll be back later. It's Thursday. Tabati, me and Austrian. Prince Richard, 45. Moki, the family, happy birthday to you. Ashopolopodu, you know that is a very open and very beautiful. And we went and she a job in lady. Ike Ikere Madu. No man worry, she is in family. I believe the issue of Ike Ikere-Madu will be reviewed for a very long time. They were only trying to get the best for the family, for the daughter, but maybe they've gone through the right channel or not. In the economy makeup, the British system have now found them guilty. And Mary, I don't know what is going to be the sentence, But I'm sure by tomorrow or a few days from now, we will find out. Otumba Adekunle, please, someone should answer me. Is Sanwo-Olu will allow Yoruba Nation to protest in Lagos? Nobody knows. And Lake Bako because ẹ̀gbọ́n mi dẹ̀ máa ń gbogbo oya ẹ̀gbọ́n kìíya because about to do lọ and ẹ bá mi ṣe briefly please.
Ọlọ́run àgbàlẹ̀ wa fún wa. Ṣé ibùdó àmì tó sọ̀rọ̀ tó ẹ̀rí rẹ̀ kún ní ọwọ́? Kò yí pé wọ́n ní pé Gbádébọ̀ 5-4 àti kí ló pè pé ó ṣọmọ Yorùbá. Ṣé yí ìkan tí àbálẹ̀ gbà ní Kálẹ́kà ó láti máa kọ̀? Ṣé ìbọ̀bọ̀ ẹ̀kọ́ tó kó máa number 1 is not going up in Yorùbá land? Bẹ́ẹ̀ bí ìgbà tí bàbá ẹ̀ tó fún ẹ̀ lóyún bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe rí o àdá orúkọ bàbá ìyá ẹ̀ ló ń jẹ́ orúkọ tí ìyá ẹ̀ fún ló ń jẹ́. Tí bàbá ẹ̀ bá bá sọ̀rọ̀ lórí fóònù bàbá tó fún lórúkọ bàbá ẹ̀ kàn fún lórúkọ lórí fóònù àti Gbádébọ̀ ni. Ìfẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ gbọ́ Yorùbá Yorùbá dẹ̀ wọ́n ẹ̀ kiri kan pé kó má gbé èdè ọwọ́ kó fẹ́ jẹ kan náà lórí and ká bá sọ ibi sí sí ẹ̀ ká má parọ́ ká sì sọ ọlọ́run ọba àti ìyàwó tó lè lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kó sí ọ̀tún lè gbọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀.
Anyway, the election has been done. All right. Okay. Wọ́n ti parí ẹ̀ má ẹ̀ka tó àwọn ṣe ẹni sùúrù. Mo ti gbọ́ yín mo ti yọ yín kúrò ní speaker ẹni sùúrù. Election has been done. They've concluded their election. All right, ẹ ṣé gan ni. Election on our platform is no-go area. I'm sorry. Because I am not endorsing all these olórí burúkú politicians látòkè délẹ̀. I don't care whoever is among them, even if they're my family. I don't care. Mo sọ fún pé ìmọ̀ àtàwọn family nǹkan sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ̀rọ tó mọ̀ ṣe wọ́n sì máa lórí láìṣe ọ̀gbọ́n mi. Ìkan wà àìtí sọ̀rọ̀ for 3 years. Ndé mi gbé dání mo ṣeré pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Ìkan wà tó ń ṣe full APC gidi ló ń ṣe nílé. Ọgbọ́n mi wọ́n mọ tí mo gbé dání. 3 years nísìnyí àti ìbára wa sọ̀rọ̀. Because I don't believe in any of these shit old politicians. And tẹ́ bá wo ohun tí à ń bá bọ̀ tí a fi parí ètò yẹn ló lè fẹ́ kó tún lọ jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Kí ló fà á tí Ọ̀yọ́ empire break up ní 18th century tó bá ń ṣe pé àwọn òyìnbó ti penetrate wa? We can see it already playing out. So how do we get this one voice for Africa Yoruba Nation? Because it is so divided. Well, we are not going to be tired. Àwọn ọmọ abáṣẹ lọ. But one thing is, lè pushy irú Ìgbòho ìbò ṣe yẹ lọ mọ́ because he has already proven himself. We need to now also bring out others. You know, they have to be found around the Yoruba Nation conversation. Ìbà Gani Adams, you know, we don't know. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes it's like that. Ọ̀nà àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ò ṣe gbèjà ìkọ̀ọ̀kan. Àwọn bàbá Fẹ́nifẹ́re níbo ló fẹ́ fojú sí nísìn. So eléyìí sọ̀rọ̀ Ìgbòho àti bàbá Akíntóyè mọ̀ nísìn. We have a lot of people that are Yorubas. So kólúkálukú nísìn bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bí wọ́n ní question. And irú àwọn bàbá Fẹ́nifẹ́re ti dàgbà is in his 90s. So the whole idea tó fẹ́ bring out tí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation tún máa di fàmífà òun àtúntò gbé dání nísìn. Elections àti tán nísìn ẹ ká fẹ́ election sílẹ̀ àbẹ́ àtẹ̀ ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lẹ́ ẹ ká fẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ election yẹn sílẹ̀ pẹ̀lú wọn because whether Labour wọlé PDP wọlé APC wọlé what are they going to do for Yorùbá Nation? Ṣé speaker tó jẹ́ Ọbaṣá olórí làǹgbàlàǹgbà yẹn òun náà lọ mẹ́ka nísìn á lọ máa jókòó fún ṣàṣetánì ẹni tó yẹ kó jókòó fún rẹ̀. Ṣé ó máa allow yín kí Yorùbá Nation protest kó padà sékòó? We wait and see. Ẹ fẹ́ kọ́ gbẹ̀kọ́ wọ́ọ̀ tí gbẹ̀kọ́ nísìn wọ́n ti padà Tinubu ti padà Sanwó-Olú ti padà Dàpọ̀ Abíọ́dún ti padà gbogbo wọn ti padà nísìn so ẹ jẹ́ ká máa bá ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation lọ ẹ má tún mú politics wọnú ọ̀rọ̀ àgbédání. It's not politics. So kò sí pé kíní Gbádébọ̀ ti lose kó lọ jókòó sẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ kan Tinubu ti wọlé because Tinubu náà ló ní Èkó. So ọ̀rọ̀ politics kan la wà lórí platform yìí. platform mi wà politics ló ń debate ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ ní lórí àwọn yẹn sì ń rí Nàìjíríà as a country tó pé work. Èmi sọ pé kọ́lọ̀ fún Tinubu lẹ́mí gúngùn 8 years tó bá máa parí ẹ̀ ìbò ni presidency tún lọ because Haúsá ò ní gbà kó padà sílẹ̀ Yorùbá o ẹgbọ́n mi dáadáa. So gbogbo ohun tí Tinubu bá fẹ́ ṣe within that 8 years náà ló ní. Ó máa break Nàìjíríà, ó máa regional ni, kò ní regional ni, ó máa ṣe kínní ni, ó fẹ́ fix Nàìjíríà ni, ó fẹ́ fix economy Nàìjíríà ni, ó máa ta Nàìjíríà ni, ó máa ta lẹ́yìn ni. Everything is under 8 years. Àwọn Haúsá dẹ̀ ní time. Ẹ lọ wọ àwọn Taliban, wọ́n ní sùúrù fún America fún 20 years. Ẹ lọ Taliban, àgbà kọ́ ọ̀mọ̀ kí n yọ Wi-Fi kúrò kọ̀síkọ́ mi bá ti dé ní sọ́jú mi nígbà. Tí bá ti yọ Wi-Fi yẹn then ẹni get through. Ẹ lọ wọ àwọn Taliban, they waited. Tíyàn lè sọ pé America máa sá ní Afghanistan after almost 2 decades. Wọ́n ti ná yàláyàwó billions of dollars. So àwọn málà tó wà nínú Nàìjíríà tó wà ní military, àwọn kan wà àwọn bàbá àsàlẹ̀ gidi tẹ́ pé a lè rí wọn. Wọ́n máa dúró kí ó fi ṣèjọba ẹ̀ tán. But ṣé tí wọ́n bá ṣèjọba yẹn tán ní after 8 years, ṣé wọ́n máa tún lọ sọ pé ẹjẹ́ wa gbé Fáṣọlá jáde kó wá contest against the primaries tó bá fi ṣe? Mo kí my beautiful sister nílùú Glasgow lọ́hùn. Are you in Glasgow? I don't mention her name, she's on Instagram. How's my little one? Baby gba ti dàgbà rẹpẹtẹ báyìí o. You know, àwọn ti Brazilian nìyẹn. Gbogbo àjọ wà ní phase 2 ni. Gbogbo àwọn ọkùnrin ló máa ń fẹ́ lé sister mi yẹn. Aláì, ó ti fine jù. Títí dọ̀la ó sì dó gbẹ́ngbẹ́ng. Ẹ bá rí wọn nínú carnival tó máa ń ṣe ní London. Ṣé ìyá ìdí bímọ ṣá? Ó dúró gbẹ́ngbẹ́ ni gbàtà wà ní phase 2. Gbogbo ọkùnrin ló máa ń fi lé wọn mú. I hope my little one a ti dàgbà gan nísìnyí o. Ṣàlàfẹ́ lẹ́wọ̀. So what I'm trying to say is before we wind up the program, the politics has been concluded, but we as people asking for right to self-determination, àwọn òbèrè election okay ó fẹ́ sẹ́gùlẹ̀ Lagos State ọ̀rọ̀ ǹjẹ́ kó gba Lagos mọ́ wọn lọ́wọ́ àti ọ̀gbà mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́ nísìn. But moving forward nísìn, it's not about protest nìkan. I expect Obasa nísìn kó sọ pé okay àti fẹ́ defend Lagos, a máa mú bíìlì kan jáde. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Ìgbò tẹ́ralẹ̀ ní Lagos State, a fẹ́ mọ̀ yín, a fẹ́ máa tó talẹ̀ fún yín bí a lè rescue ilẹ̀ yẹn padà. Wọ́n máa gbé bíìlì yẹn jáde. These politicians are all criminals. They've been there for years. Obasa ọlọ́run along tọ́basa bá ṣe tán nísìn, a tún máa bó ṣe fi jẹ senator. Ẹ mọ̀ pé house ló ń ṣe nísìn. I don't know how long he can stay there bí every year ọmọ máa vote fún ara àwọn tó lè rà lágége ẹ lọ ságége àwọn Haúsá pọ́n Agége bí wèrè. Ẹ wo Rauf Arẹ́gbẹ́ṣọlá tó lọ sí Hausa community tó ń plead pẹ̀lú wọn pé kó jọ kó vote fún APC. Àwọn dẹ̀ máa ṣe the right thing. So election has been done. British gan sọ pé election ìbọn lélẹ̀ bí Katrina Lam ló sọ yìí nkúkú ọmọ sọ ìbí kan tó sọ lélẹ̀ ó ní election yìí wà fascinating ó dẹ̀ wà positive. So America ti sọ̀rọ̀ wọ́n ní gbogbo ẹni tó bá tẹ́ lọ́rùn ẹ lọ sí court, but àwa Yorùbá nation àwa náà fẹ́ àní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú politics, and that's why I say for now I am not Darudapo with any media. I'm independent for now. No collaboration with anybody because mo tó lókàlùkù gbé dání mọ́. A lè máa sọ pé Yorùbá nation ẹ fẹ́ save Lagos State, ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ ọmọ Lagos lòun náà. So kò sí nǹkan tẹ́lẹ̀ máa sọ fún mi pé ìmọ̀ ìṣọmọ Ìgbò àwòṣe wa fẹ́ràn Ìgbò tó yìí ìṣọmọ Ìgbò tó ẹ̀ lè táàgbé pọ́mọ Ìgbò mọ̀ pàdé yín kárí grandson ti sọ gbogbo jagbajantis kọ́lọ́ba ayọ́ kúrò nínú prison tó wà. Tí Britain ò bá kó gbogbo problem yìí wá, Adéyínká grandson will not be in prison. Very, very intelligent guy. And bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. So ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ yìí don sí Ìgbòho ká tó máa lọ jàre. you don't see Igboho. So má padà wá nírọ̀lẹ́ Ọlọ́run kó fún wa ní àlàáfíà kó dá strength sí ní gbogbo body.
Impediment to Yoruba development. Is the impediment to Yoruba development. Without Nigeria, we would be where we are. 1962, we were far ahead of South Korea and North Korea. We were far ahead of China even. We had television before France. We had radio before South Africa. Now look at where we are today. I think it's a shame that even any Yoruba man can be talking about restructuring at this point in time. What are we restructuring? This country that is already shot to pieces? I don't think that's what we want. But they are always talking about giving Nigeria a chance. The patience of Yoruba with Nigeria has come to an end.
If you don't allow we Biafrans to go, that zoological republic called Nigeria will be a worse place than Somalia. And today it is happening. And if you have not applied for your Somalian visa, please try and do so. Should I say Somali visa? Try and do so as quickly as possible, because the zoo is on the path of destruction. And there is nothing man can do to reverse it. Mark today's date and what I'm telling you. Nigeria will be destroyed beyond human comprehension.
If I may just...
Sunday Igboho,
yes,
who was also arrested,
right.
I've written severally on it, that he should also, because his determination for Oduduwa Republic is not a crime known international law.
And that's the point I'm trying to make. That's the point I'm trying to raise with you. If it were not signaled to non-state actors and other ethnic agitators that they can actually go ahead, in the event that President Muhammadu Buhari really responds to your appeal.
Excuse me.
Yes.
You and I, we are living in Nigeria. You are talking about harmless people who are not armed. Are you not aware that in this country, some Boko Haram, some people accused of Boko Haram were released and traded for others by way of a quid pro quo? They say, okay, release some of us, then we will release some of your detained citizens. Are you not aware that that has gone on in this country? So what is the bad precedent of saying a non-violent person should be released from detention, from illegal detention, a detention that the United Nations has been found to be illegal and to be unconstitutional and to be torturous? I do not see anything that is setting any bad precedent there in a situation where, as a matter of fact, some Boko Haram and armed bandits are being released in exchange for some of their members, where kidnappers are demanding from parents of children they have kidnapped to buy tarodo, tatache, tomatoes, vegetable oil, palm oil, uba, to buy salt, to buy rice, for them, beans, yams, for them to feed their children so as to keep them alive, to enable the parents pay ransom for them. What is the long precedent here that we are just saying, find a political solution by going through the tenets and the provisions of the law? I do not personally see anything wrong with that at all, and there's none that I know of. And I cannot see it leading to any floodgate or any resurgence by other people coming to say, criminals coming to say, oh, you must also give me reprieve. It does not happen that way. How many Nnamdi Kanus do you have in Nigeria? And how many Sunday Igbohos do you have in Nigeria? These are people who have carried the specter of their people on their heads, and they have become a metaphor for their self-determination struggle.
Perhaps singular among this body's achievements stands the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which is the standard by which our forebears challenged us to measure ourselves. They made clear in 1948, human rights are the basis for all that we seek to achieve. And yet today in 2022, fundamental freedoms are at risk in every part of our world, from the violations in Xinjiang, detailed recent reports by the Office of UN High Commissioner, to the horrible abuses against pro-democracy activists and ethnic minorities by the military regime in Burma, to the increased repression of women and girls by the Taliban in Afghanistan. And today, we stand with the brave citizens and the brave women of Iran who right now are demonstrating to secure their basic rights. But here's what I know. The future will be won by those countries that unleash the full potential of their populations, where women and girls can exercise equal rights, including basic reproductive rights, and contribute fully to building a stronger economies and more resilient societies, where religious and ethnic minorities can live their lives without harassment and contribute to the fabric of their communities, where the LGBTQ plus individuals live and love freely without being targeted with violence, where citizens can question and criticize their leaders without fear of reprisal. The United States will always promote human rights and the values enshrined in the UN Charter in our own country and around the world.
But our historic memory includes the notion that your greatest days were under Ivan, Peter the Great, and Catherine the Great. In other words, when you could control your neighbors. And people don't want to be controlled anymore. They want to be free to chart their own course. I'll never forget the first time a man with impeccable military credentials, the warden of Rhodes House, who was Admiral Viscount Montgomery's aide de camp in World War II, said, you know, you're going to have to leave Vietnam for the same reason we had to leave Nigeria. We left Nigeria. There was a horrible war. 3 million people died. But we had to go, and you're going to have to go. And I said, why? He said, because they don't want you. You know, people want to chart their own course. They have to feel secure in their own.
One day, the world will wake up to reality that you cannot hold people that do not want to be together. Well, in Maparope, they are trying to hold us together, but the bubble has been there. 2017, ni Jordan Akinola ti ń pariwo kó tó di pa wá pick 2 years after. There will be more people that will wake up, not because of the election, but the aftermath of what is about to happen, which I will be here to deliberate on. When I come back in the evening, if I have the strength like Brother Long, I'm going to focus back again on the criminality of that fraudulent 1999 constitution. Ulama sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Báwo ló ṣe ń ṣe sí ẹ láti 1999? Wọ́n náà ti amend títí. Ṣé amendment ní dọ́dọ̀ tiẹ̀? Well, let me go and take my short break as usual. Go and watch my own documentaries. And I will come back and as usual have something to talk about. And tó bá ìtì ní Twitter. We are not doing very well on Twitter. We are not doing very well. Especially if we want our message. Your function put about 5 million or whatever million into a particular something. You know, I don't know what it was. Message until but anyway, I'll be back. God's willing. Nigeria is not going to work. I pity a lot of you that still have hope in Nigeria. I want hope nígbà kan, but that hope is already faded away a long time. It has been faded away, but we try to hold it. Like I said, years ago, I have to go anyway. I'll be back like along if I have the strength later on. But this is the final one. It's under 30 seconds. And then when I come back, I play the anthem and we're done.
Other countries were refused at first, but we have to remember, and this is a really important point, that self-determination is an inalienable international right and a law as well. And other countries will recognise Scotland's democratic choice expressed at the ballot box. They will recognise that because that is the route that many other countries have taken in order to become independent. And just to make that point, that international law is very pragmatic on that point, so we should have confidence in that.
Ìgbàgbọ́ àti bẹ̀rù àṣìṣe ìfífẹ́ àṣìṣe ìṣọ̀kan ìpẹ̀jẹ́ tẹ̀síwájú. Eunice, thank you so much. Mo kí ẹ̀ ti Èkìtì, mo kí ti ẹ̀yìn Àkúrẹ́, ọlọ́run àwọn ọmọ tí ń gbé wa.
Life is so funny.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Then fight for everything.
I will be back later.
Later.
No problem.
Leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful.
Bye for now, everybody.